Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Football Stooges, the weekly NFL breakdown by three idiots with microphones and webcams and a lot of alcohol for 2 out of 3 of us. This is, like I said, a weekly breakdown of the NFL. We're going to take a look at the Thanksgiving week, games played on Thanksgiving, as well as the games that were going to be played on the Thanksgiving weekend. And we're going to take a look at the upcoming week. It's going to be week 13. We're going to be looking at a lot of the games that are coming up as the season's getting a shorter and shorter time span for these teams to catch up and get into the playoff. We'll take a look at the playoff picture. We're going to get you all prepped and ready to, witness some of the best football, which is the end of the season football, where teams are clicking, things are rolling, people are moving, the fans are bumping, the weather's colder. Hopefully we'll get a snow game. I still don't forgive you, Roger Goodell, for moving the game out of Buffalo. Fuck you. He probably won't see this, but anyway, that person that also shares my love for snow games, Mastodon.
Mashed potatoes.
Oh God, there goes the Yingling again.
Oh,
all right,
my God.
For those of you that don't know, we recorded.
Talking about.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, we had a little bit of flub up, and we recorded about 3 minutes without audio because one of my audio devices decided to switch. So Mastodon's already a couple ounces of alcohol down. Meanwhile, the sober one of us.
3 and 4.
The sober, quote unquote, one of us in the group, Mamba.
Hi. The sober one.
I don't know how, bro. After listening to Mac White, oh man,
dude,
I was a wreck. Dude. I was a wreck after the Bengals lost their Week 1 game versus the Steelers. So I'm glad we got revenge on them last week. But also this fucking chair. I swear, every time I activate my goddamn camera, this chair decides to just appear from the ether.
Wait, what?
There's a chair that's behind me because I live in a smaller apartment. So there's this chair that keeps fizzling out in the background and just appears. That motherfucker! I swear to God. What's this one get paid to? It thinks that's a person.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Football Stooges.
Football Stooges. All right,
clip this
shit. Let's get ready, and Football Stooges country.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Die.
All right. Thanksgiving games. There were 3 games. The 1 o'clock slot, 4:30 slot, and the matinee 8:30 slot. Well, actually 12:30 for the early game. I love the lineup. It was a great set of games. Let's break down the first
Thursday
one.
Was great.
Yes.
They were.
Now, there's nothing, dude. Again, I'm gonna go back to this. We talked about this last week, but again, just holiday football, Thanksgiving is so good. Why not replicate that for Christmas? It'd be perfect.
Yeah,
it'd be so perfect.
We already went over that last week. I don't want to. We already went over it. We're not going over it again.
Such a good idea, please. Every single, you get to see the Packers play every Christmas.
Just
you get to see the Bills play.
Send some pigeon letters to Roger Goodell.
He don't want to hear my ass.
I mean, I want to actually watch football that I'm not with family at times. I'm visiting my brother for Christmas or Yule for my brother. So that's just
true.
So that's for me.
All right, a close one in the first game. Detroit hosting Buffalo. Technically, after Buffalo had played their 2 straight weeks, one of the games that was technically their home game in a way, since they were snowed out of the game they were about to have the Snow Bowl in against the Browns. Bills take the win 28-25 on Josh Allen's 24 for 42 pass completion to attempts with 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, taking 3 sacks. Jared Goff 23 for 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 sacks. The rushing game, again, for Buffalo is a little odd. Josh Allen had 10 carries for 78 yards. Devin Singletary had 14 carries for 72 yards. For the Lions, wasn't great on their side either. Jamal Williams, 18 carries for 66 yards, which equates to a 3.7 average. DeAndre Swift had 5 carries for 19 yards, which is a 3.8 average. The receiving for Buffalo, 96 yards for Isaiah McKenzie and 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 77 yards, 8 receptions and 1 touchdown. Detroit had a standout, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 receptions, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. Ooh. And the closest one next to him was Khalif Raymond, 35 yards and 4 receptions.
God damn.
This came down to the wire. Bills made a key drive late in the game and were able to, I believe, get a touchdown or a field goal late in the game. Yeah, field goal late in the game in order to put themselves up by 3 and win the game. Josh Allen at the very end of the game sharing an embrace with Stephon Diggs and relieving a sigh of relief after nearly losing to the Detroit Lions. Tough game, and I'm honestly pretty impressed that the Lions held it this far. They're a good team, but they've been very streaky, and they've had a lot of down streaks this year. So I'm glad the Lions kind of are looking a little bit better, especially taking a team like Buffalo to a 3-point game.
Yeah, I mean, early in the season for the Lions, it was just they were trying to figure shit out. But now it looks like they're a very good team, like middle of the pack. I mean, they're not going to win, they're not going to make it to playoffs or anything. But I mean, if you look at the Lions for next year, I would be worried. As a Bears fan, I would be worried.
Yeah,
but
they're still in the playoff hunt somehow.
Who, the Lions?
Yes.
Yeah. They're second in their division.
Yeah, you're right.
Not division wise, but wild card. But
I forgot Green Bay sucks.
Yeah, but one thing I was gonna say for this, like the last drive Lions had, the 3rd and 1. A lot of people are complaining about the play call. The play call wasn't bad. It's just you trusted Jared Goff on the throw. It was such a bad throw he did.
Yeah,
like fair. Yeah,
Tua would hit him. Patrick Mahomes would hit. Who was trying to catch it? I'm trying to remember who was the receiver. But like, if it was a good throw, that's a touchdown. I'm sorry. Like, I would say that was a touchdown.
I mean, hey, if Detroit's looking at this draft that's upcoming, they should maybe trade up.
Possibly trade up or wait. They honestly, with Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, has looked really good and was a Heisman frontrunner until he tore his ACL. The Lions are still rebuilding, and they could afford to take Hendon Hooker, let him rehab his injury, and then move on from Jared Goff once he's back and ready. Kind of like a Trey Lance situation in a way that they're dealing with now with Garoppolo. It could totally work. They just have to get him, and they're 4-7. They're not going to have the lowest pick in the draft, but they're also not going to have like the highest pick. So they're going to be middle of the pack. We'll have to see what happens.
Before I forget, I saw a stat that was hilarious. Buffalo winning last week in Detroit and winning this week is the first time a team won in Ford Field back-to-back since 2016.
Oh, wow. I thought last week they played at New York, but I forgot. Yeah, they played at
they played in Detroit.
Fucking hell. I guess they got something going over there. I don't know, but
I'm sorry.
Just real quick on the Bills side of the ball, they are looking a little fizzled out, a little tired. I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, they had that battle last week against the Vikings.
That was true.
Very discouraging. Or 2 weeks ago against the Vikings, that was very discouraging.
The run game's still not there. It's just and their secondary still hurt. You had someone came back from secondary, and now Von Miller's out. It's like, I know Von Miller's not secondary, but you had someone else get hurt. It's like,
well, it doesn't sound like it's that bad. They were saying 7 to 10 days, or actually, Von, I think he has a podcast or something, but he was saying like he could play through it, but he needs to let it kind of rest.
Yeah, still need to heal.
So I say, I mean, even like. You could just coast your way into the playoffs from now, and then once Von Miller's back, play him in the playoffs. You want to have him back and ready.
The Bills are fighting with Miami, though. Look at the AFC East standings. It's not an easy.
Shit, yeah.
It's tough.
It's very hard.
I can't believe New England's at the bottom of that. New England is at the bottom of that.
And don't forget the New York Jets. They're gonna be fighting with them too.
Yeah, that's the NFC East is looking.
You
really
would think, but hey,
there could be
if you got Magic Mike, and anything could happen.
The whole division, the AFC East, can make it to the playoffs. That's how tough it is.
Yeah, it's gonna take some Belichick magic to fix that Patriots offense. Because golly, it's been.
Here's how do you fix it: don't have Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as offensive coordinators.
That's a little late in the season to get an OC, but yeah.
Well, not even that. Just have an actual OC, not 2 defensive coordinators. Or I don't know, Joe Judge was ever defensive coordinator. I think he was offensive, but still.
Moving on to I think this was one of the most watched NFL games in history.
Of course, the Cowboys.
No, Mamba, actually look this up. Look how many people watched the Giants-Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. Sorry to make you just like look something up, but I saw a blurb that it was like a massive watching. I can't remember the exact number of it.
42 million views. 42 million viewers.
42 million. Very big.
It wasn't bad teams. Like they have winning records. They're fighting for.
Yeah, but when the Cowboys are playing on Thanksgiving, of course people are gonna watch the Cowboys.
Yeah, but at the same time, like also
it's America's team.
Yeah, but the Cowboys are like doing well this year. The Giants are also doing well this year. So that's all of New York that's going to tune in because the Giants are far more popular in New York than the Jets.
And then you got Jersey for the Giants. It's mostly Jersey for Giants too.
True. So I mean, you got two popular franchises tuning in. It's Thanksgiving. Everyone's the tryptophan is acting up. The beers are going crazy. You're tired of your uncle talking about how all the political stuff, and then your one cousin that has like blue hair and 17 piercings. They're about to fight each other in the middle of the family room. You got to worry about all this going on, and you're just like, let's just watch football. That's why everybody was tuned into this game. That's exactly the reason why. So.
Imagine having family
your Thanksgiving.
It wasn't me.
Sounds like your Thanksgiving dinner was interesting.
Mine was fine. Mine was just a ton of my wife's family gathered all together, and honestly, I just talked with people and watched football the whole time. It was nice. But anyway, nice. New York Giants lose by 8 to the Cowboys in Texas. Dak Prescott, 21 for 30, 261, and 8.7 average, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks. Daniel Jones, 21 for 35, 228 yards, 6.5 average, 1 touchdown, and 3 sacks. Saquon Barkley only ran for 39 yards and 11 carries. Not a great day for him running the ball, but also that Dallas defense, especially that box set that they have with Micah Parsons leading the way, is dangerous. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 92 yards and 16 carries, and Tony Pollard ran for 60 yards on 18 carries. They used Ezekiel Elliott in a lot more power formations and old school Dallas run offense to take advantage of a really battered up Giants defensive line that was a better pass rusher than they were run stoppers, and they really bullied Kayvon Thibodeau, pulled some guards, cracked them, side blocks and stuff like that.
They even got CeeDee Lamb rushing.
Yeah, 2 carries for 11 yards.
Wild.
But CeeDee Lamb had 106 yards, the leading Cowboys receiver with 6 receptions total. The nearest, Michael Gallup, with 63 yards on 5 receptions. For the Giants, their receiving core wasn't that great. Darius Slayton, their leader, 3 receptions for 63 yards. And Barkley, 13 yards on only 4 receptions. So not a great day for Barkley. Daniel Jones even only ran for 14 yards. I remember I listened to the Pat McAfee show, and they had like a boosted odds for Daniel Jones to run for like 70 plus yards. So that
Christ against Dallas's defense.
Yeah, Dallas defense.
Yeah, they probably
good.
What's their
name?
Thought
Jones was going to be running for his life. Yeah, they thought Daniel Jones was going to be running for his life because of Parsons just running in there and disrupting it, so Daniel Jones would be able to escape and vanilla Vic his way to 70-something yards.
I'll mention this with the New York Giants. So if the defense stops the Giants' run game, they're not good. Like they can't move the ball passing that well. Because early in the season, go for it.
Yeah, Jones is a little streaky. He just needs more options. Like Darius Slayton should not be a first option for a playoff team.
I still don't think he's that great of a quarterback. I think he's an average quarterback, not very much above average.
I mean, he's on that fringe spot. He's obviously not as good as Justin Herbert, but I would take him right now over Mac White.
Mike White?
Honestly, Mike White, yeah, sorry, not Mike White. I take him over
Mac Jones or Mike White?
Both.
Mike White.
Both, honestly.
He had a good game. I mean, we'll get to that game, but Mike White had a really good game.
I'll take him over both guys, both Mac and Mike. I'll take him over both, I think, honestly, because his threat also as a runner. I mean, he's still a decent passer. He still put up 400 yards of total offense, and more than half of that was passing a couple games ago.
He could be a threat as a runner, but when the defense stops their run game, they're pretty much fucked.
I still
think
don't
have
it's just
a lot of options.
I don't think all of that. Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's all on Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is still pretty good. I think a lot of that is on their receiving core, which is probably worse than the Packers receiving core.
Okay, fair.
I do think Dallas defense did a great job.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Trayvon Diggs was everywhere. Micah Parsons was flying to the football. Leighton Vander Esch was, hitting people as he always does. It was a good day for the Dallas defense.
Both sides of ball, like for Dallas, has been great. Like offensively, they're able.
Got iffy on this game.
Okay, fair, but they have receivers. They got CeeDee Lamb running around.
Well, it doesn't help when Dak throws the football to the defense twice on absolutely off. Like these were not like, oh, it's a tip pass at the line that or the receiver dropped it. This was like a Dak Prescott said, "Oh shit, that's a giant, not a cowboy."
Listen. Even if Dak has a bad game, they still could squeak a win because they have a really good run game. They have a really good defense.
Yeah,
like there's not too much pressure on that quarterback.
They can do that now. In the playoffs, they're not going to be able. I don't think they're going to be able to pull that.
I don't know. Cowboys defense and plus the running game from them.
The last time an insane offense or insane defense carried a poorly performing quarterback to the Super Bowl was the Bears.
No. Okay. I'm not saying
they had the Eagles Super Bowl was freaking Nick Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles. Okay, hold on. Nick Foles that season was doing great. You have the Ravens one season where Joe Flacco was, for some reason, the reincarnation of Johnny Unitas for that one season, and then fell off after that.
So you're saying winning Super Bowl, not getting there?
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
Even even then, like they were playing well at the same time.
Those two teams were still face off with Brady. Like you're stopping Brady's offense.
Like the defense did not stop Brady. The defense did not stop Brady.
The defense didn't stop Brady. The offense
was a shootout. It was a shootout.
Yeah, it was a. I think it was both teams had like 30-something points. I think
over 30 points, and Philly had 40.
Yeah, that was not a defensive game at all. So I'm saying that defenses, less defense to carry a subpar performing quarterback to the Super Bowl was the Bears in 2006 carrying Rex Grossman to play against Peyton Manning, where he shit the bucket.
I thought that was Sean Glennon. Oh, yeah. No, I'm thinking someone else for Sean Glennon. Sorry.
No, Peyton Manning fucking smoked.
Well, the Broncos in 2015.
No, that was the Colts. That was Peyton Manning and the Colts.
No,
2006.
I know, but I'm saying also Denver, and when they won it, Payne was doing bad.
Denver, yeah.
Age caught up to him.
Caught up to him. Peyton Manning's stats in Denver were actually better than his stats per year in Indy. Way better. Peyton Manning was a better Bronco than he was a Colt.
That Super Bowl year? When they won it.
They had the highest scoring offense in the league.
There wasn't there one Super Bowl where they like fucking stunk?
Oh yeah, because they went up against the prime Legion of Boom. Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner.
Was that the Seahawks?
Yes, they scored I think it was like 3-10 or 3-17 that game or something.
It was 3-17.
And then next year they went and they played Cam Newton, who just probably had money against himself.
They basically headhunted Cam Newton. If you looked, there was.
Yeah, they were trying to make him feel uncomfortable. He was good though. Yeah. Cam Newton, that's that MVP season. Oh my goodness,
his injuries hurt him. But no, this game wasn't bad. I know the score is close, but that was like a last minute touchdown, and Giants tried to get onside.
It would have been a blowout if Dak wouldn't have made some bad choices with the football. I say
there's that. Yep.
Okay, and again, like even if Dak does bad, like they still can squeak out a win, which is very impressive.
In the playoffs, I don't think that happens. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think a bad offensive performance if like the Cowboys are going up against the Eagles. I don't think a bad. I don't think Dak's gonna be able to.
I have choice words on the Eagles defense right when we get to it.
When we get there. The final game for Thanksgiving football: New England Patriots going into the Minnesota Vikings home stadium and losing 26-33 on a close game that a lot of people expected to be a lot lower scoring. Mac Jones, 28 for 39, 382 yards with a 9.8 average, 2 touchdowns, and 3 sacks. Kirk Cousins, 30 for 37 for 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 sack. Also, Kirk finally getting a win in prime time. And Justin Jefferson actually getting on the passing board, 1 for 1 for 11 yards. The run game for both sides was kind of bad. Ramondre Stevenson had 7 carries for 36 yards, and Dalvin Cook had 22 carries for 42 yards, which is a 1.9 average. Yikes. New England's receiving was kind of off and on. 80 yards for Devondre Parker.
All over the place.
Yeah. 4 receptions and 80 yards for Devondre Parker. 76 yards and 9 receptions for Ramondre Stevenson. 65 yards and 6 carries for Nelson Aguilar. I'm sure Macedon loves hearing that name. And Hunter Henry.
It's better than Aguilar.
Yeah. Hunter Henry had 63 yards of receiving on 3 carries, and Jacoby Myers had 62 yards on 3 receptions. Sorry. So that is the entirety of the Patriots receiving core, except for Kendrick Bourne. Sorry, who had 36 yards. So very equally spread out. Minnesota receiving was a lot more lopsided. Justin Jefferson, 139 yards and 1 touchdown on 9 receptions, a 15.4 average. The next nearest, Adam Thielen, 61 yards, 9 receptions, and 1 dry-ass turkey he had to spit out in the middle of the interview later that game. Yeah, he spit that out. He said this turkey's dry, and just spat it right in the floor, right in front of all the cameras. It's pretty funny. But this game,
right.
Yeah, this game was interesting because late in the game, the Patriots made a big drive through a long pass, and it was caught by Hunter Henry. And as he came down, the tip end of the ball hit the ground before he was really able to take 2 steps. Therefore, it was considered the ground was making the catch for him since he lost possession, because the ground cannot cause you to catch something. You can't grab a football, have the nose down, and then just smack it on the ground and hold it there. That's not a catch. So, by definition, the rules would state that Hunter Henry did make the catch, causing the Patriots to not be able to convert and eventually allowing the Vikings to pull away. A very big key moment where a lot of Patriots fans saying they got gypped by the refs. I'm going to say, okay, you know,
it's in the rules.
It's in the rules, and also you're going to see how the rest of us feel, you know, when we're playing against the Patriots, and you guys get a couple of these calls. So, I mean...
Well, it was playing against Brady. That's what it was. Go ahead, Mama.
But, I mean, it was still a good game by both, and New England's obviously struggling. They're really trying to figure out how to really build this background. They have a good defense, but it still needs work, even after letting Kirk, Ishak, and Primetime Cousins drop 33 on your head.
But not only that, New England's offense is so one-dimensional right now. I don't know what's going on, but you can't, like... They had a total of 13 carries the entire game compared to Minnesota's 27.
They usually run the ball more too, but I mean, I think it was the
usually.
Minnesota. I think this is the first time in a while that the New England O-line, besides probably Trent Brown, has looked bad, and because of that, they can't run the ball as much, especially against the Minnesota Vikings with a very scary front four.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Minnesota, even though they're attempting 27 carries and they didn't do too much with it, they're still able. I mean, it's good they're doing that because then they could still spread the ball with the pass plays. Because keeping the defense on their toes. So, I mean, New England, you can't just run the ball 13 times and just pass the entire time. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, they only
because then the defense knows.
Attempts.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is gonna know to just run fucking cover 2s, or they're not gonna do man to man because they're not running the ball.
Yeah.
I still
like,
think
it's
Joe
too predictable.
I think they were forced into that position. I don't think Belichick is stupid enough to constantly pass the football, but he likes to run the football. Like, he loved that game. Yeah. What was it, last year, where it was him and the Bills in like sub-zero weather where no one could throw the ball, and he ran the ball a bajillion times. He walked in and said, "We're going to play like Navy today," and they ran the ball a billion times. I loved watching that game. But at the same time, that Vikings front four with what is it? Is it Devontae Smith or?
Go ahead, go down. You might show
Devondre Campbell's still Zadarius Smith. There it is, Zadarius Smith. And there's also a guy, Daniel Hunter, I believe, on the other side. Is that him?
My point is, you have to attempt to run the ball, because then the defense is going to just know what you're going to do. Like, you're just way too one-dimensional. So I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't run as much as they usually do. This was
because honestly they couldn't block. I don't think they could stop the Vikings D line. But yes, I think a more rushing attempts would have been a bit better.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like Mac Jones was terrible this game. Like, he actually had.
No, he was.
Like, if you look at his stats, it's good.
Nearly 400 yards of passing. Yeah.
with 2 touchdowns. Like, yeah.
And he was averaging 9.8 yards a pass.
And it was back and forth if you look at the like kind of quarters.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, both defenses did give up a lot of points, but I don't know. You can't. I don't think you can be this one dimensional.
Yeah, New England needs some more help in their secondary because they have like Jabril Peppers, who's looked great at safety. They have Judon, who's been rushing the quarterback well, and some good linebackers to fill out the spots. But their corners are looking kind of rough right now after Stephon Gilmore has departed after a while. So I think they really need to get another really solid corner. I bet you they were waiting for Sauce Gardner to drop to them in the draft and didn't get that, and then decided to go with Cole Strange. But it is what it is.
Just say this: this is just Justin Jefferson's year of breaking out. We had Jamar Chase last year. Justin Jefferson is breaking out right now. I think he's gonna get notices for Offensive Player of the Year.
Probably,
yeah, I could see it.
Especially that crazy catch in what is that with the Bills?
Yeah, so like the only person I see that's facing against him is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is the only other person.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's been leading the offensive. He's been leading offensive receiving yards for a long time. I still think MVP's got to go right now for 2 early picks.
Oh,
MVP has to go to Derrick Henry. Like he has more. Yeah. I think he has a better passing.
He's more
percentage.
Of an impact.
He has a better passing percentage and and more touchdowns. I think passing touchdowns than the starting quarterback they had for half the season, Malik Willis.
Yeah, I mean it's because he's more of an impact on that team.
And without him, the Titans
versus other players.
Like the Titans would suck so bad. Without him, the Titans would be 0-16-1. They're so bad.
I do agree with you, but the voters are not. They're very against running back scheme.
They're probably just going to give it to Rodgers for playing through an abdominal injury.
Actually,
I mean, what?
Tua, because every game that he started and finished, he won.
You could give him comeback player of the year, but I think you got to give Geno. Geno's got to get that.
Geno as MVP.
Or Saquon.
No, Geno's comeback. Geno's comeback player of the year.
Comeback?
Yeah, I know. But Saquon could get comeback player of the year, too. I'm saying
you could even do... I mean, you could even do Patrick Mahomes or even...
Honestly... Yeah, MVP looks like Patrick Mahomes, but honestly, Geno Smith receiving some MVP votes is not a bad idea. The shit that he's done...
Yeah, but we'll see the last couple games because it's going to be recency bias too.
They have been slipping a little bit
because he did slip up a couple times against the Raiders that we could talk about. Yeah. But like I could see him getting comeback player of the year. He has been good. Like he exceeded expectations of what we thought.
Oh yeah.
So like
I can see that for comeback player. Who hasn't exceeded expectations? Derek Carr. Oh boy.
I go with Josh McDaniels.
To be fair, they're fucking
McDaniels.
Yeah. Josh McDaniels.
Next one was the Dolphin. Was it? Oh, the Bucks.
Yep. Buccaneers and Browns. Jesus, Tom. Browns win. Browns win in overtime. Fuck you, Cleveland. 23-17 at home against the Buccaneers. Tom Brady, 29 for 43, 246. 5.7 average, 2 touchdowns, taking 3 sacks. Jacoby Brissett in his probably last game as the starter for the Browns, and maybe his last season with the Browns because he's kind of expensive for a backup. 23 for 37, 210 with a 5.7 average, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 4 sacks. The Buccaneers' run game wasn't great. Their leading rusher was Rachaad White, who was the recent, I believe he was the rookie they drafted out of North Dakota State, 14 for 64. Let me double check. Arizona State.
Yeah, Arizona State.
Rookie out of Arizona State. So he's looked pretty good, but again, they only gave him 14 carries on 64 yards. Not terrible. 4.6 average isn't bad. However, Ndamukong Suh is greatly missed in the Cleveland Browns, or for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because Nick Chubb said, move the fuck out the way. 26 carries, 116 yards. For a 4.5 average and 1 touchdown. He's looked amazing. Thus, kind of as of recently, had some off games, but this game he was on. Chris Godwin, leading receiver for Tampa Bay, 12 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Rachaad White also receiving well, looking like a really good pickup for the Buccaneers, 9 receptions for 45 yards. Julio Jones got 40 yards. Mike Evans only had 31 yards, 2 attempts, and 9 targets. And that was it for Tampa Bay's receiving. For Cleveland, Amari Cooper, 94 yards and 7 receptions. David Njoku, 29 yards on 5 receptions and 1 TD on a very sick one-handed catch. And after that, everyone was below 29 yards total. So it was a run-the-ball game that Cleveland had used to their advantage to eventually pull out the win against the GOAT, Tom Brady, at home in overtime.
I mean, Cleveland's always running the ball. They're pounding it. I mean, you got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Like, well, actually, who the fuck is Anthony Schwartz?
One carry for 31 yards, which was a touchdown. Wasn't this guy the?
He's a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver, but was this the guy that faked his way into the NFL? Quote unquote.
No. Wait, what?
There was a guy. No. There was or is it this? Is it Isaiah Weston? College Northern Iowa.
Well, that guy's Northern Iowa. What are you on about?
Look up something. Look up Browns player that faked his way into the NFL. He basically signed himself up for a camp. Like, again, he didn't fake his way. That's just what people use. But he faked his acceptance into a camp, like a training camp with the Browns, got in, and then they asked who he was, and he just basically said, "Oh, I'm just here to try to impress you guys."
Giuseppe.
Okay, someone completely different then.
Yeah, someone different, I think. But yeah, that wasn't him. So
this article is 2019. So
I mean, it's kind of recent.
Still on the Browns.
Can you start? Where?
David. I don't see him.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about. I never heard of that one.
I think he doesn't play in the NFL anymore.
Oh,
okay.
He did have a touchdown reception or anything, but yeah. Anyway, Cleveland running the ball very well, taking advantage of a weak interior Tampa Bay line. Honestly, I think it's where the Tampa Bay's age catches up to them. They had Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh, a lot of really older guys on the D line that eventually stopped working well. And I think this also shows, because again, I talk about it every week, Vita Vea is an insane guy to watch, and you would think he would be able to stop a run game like the Browns. That's where Wyatt Teller comes in, and if you watch Wyatt Teller, you'll know that the one man that could probably put Vita Vea on his ass is Wyatt Teller.
Look at his college playing when he played for Virginia Tech.
Golly, dude.
Go ahead, Mamba, before I go.
No, nothing.
That's a mean man.
That was it for me.
Okay. Todd Bowles, you have Tom Brady in the a minute, or how many minutes was left? It was maybe just under a minute. You had 3 timeouts. Why the fuck were you not using those 3 timeouts to try to actually get a field goal to win the game instead of going to overtime? That's why you got fired from the Jets. That's why you shouldn't be a fucking head coach. You should just stay as defensive coordinator. The fuck, Todd Bowles. That's a rant on me. That's.
What was their coach last year? I forget.
Bruce Arians.
What happened to him? Where is he?
He's Brady now
Arians, in the office for Tampa Bay. Arians and Brady did not click together, apparently. So
they won a Super Bowl together. They didn't click. What?
No. As in, behind the scenes, because Arians actually stood up to Brady, and Todd Bowles is a yes man.
Oh, okay.
Arians doesn't.
You're telling me then when Brady was in New England that Belichick,
because he had Kraft. Kraft was. Oh, you just cut out for a minute, Mamba.
Oh yeah, no, Mama's mic died. Oh no.
But what I'm gonna say is,
what up?
Hello?
Hello. There we go. It's back.
There we go.
Yeah. But Brady had Kraft sucking his ass, so
whoa.
That's all I have to say.
Whoa. Hey, he kisses his kids with that mouth.
Speaking of kissing your kids with that mouth.
Yeah.
You showed us this earlier.
Oh, fuck you, Tennessee! Fuck you, yeah! Let's go! Watch this. Yeah. Boom.
Make sure this is actually heard for the video. So
Yeah,
Mama doesn't go, hey, there was no audio.
If there's no audio, I'll just put it in post. But funny as shit.
Yeah. Again, that was for those that don't have the visual meeting with us. That was Ted Karras walking off the field, Bengals center, after a win against Tennessee. Came down to the wire. Very pumped, very hyped up at this new kind of inter-AFC rivalry kind of brewing between the Bengals and Titans after getting a quick win against them. Hyped up, screaming at the crowd, getting handshakes with, bumping his helmet into fans' hands on his way out of the tunnel. But yes, Bengals go into Tennessee once again, a repeat from the divisional round last year, and get the win by 4, 20-16. Joe Burrow, 22 for 37, 270, 7.3 yard average, 1 touchdown and 1 sack, opposed to the 9 the last time these two met, so a definite improvement. Ryan Tannehill, 23 for 34 for 291 yards, 8.6 yards of average passing, no touchdowns, no receptions, 1 sack. Running, Joe Mixon was out for this game with concussion protocol. Samaje Perine, his fellow teammate from Oklahoma, decided to step up, 17 carries for 58 yards. Not a phenomenal game from him, but
pretty decent.
Pretty for running back. Pretty decent. Also, he's a really good receiving back as well. He had 1 touchdown rushing. And again, I think last week he had 3 touchdowns in total. And this week now he had 1 running, and then receiving, Perine had 35 yards and 4 receptions. So a very well balanced back, really great backup, a really good guy in the 2-back rotation that has done well for us. For the Titans, Derrick Henry was held to 38 yards with a 2.2 average on 17 carries. This was mainly due to the highest graded defensive tackle in PFF returning, DJ Reader, back from his injury, now with the Bengals once again, really helping them secure this win. Again, if you stop Derrick Henry from running the ball, there's not much you can do. Speaking of Derrick Henry, another reason why he should be MVP, he was the lead receiver for Tennessee, 3 receptions for 79 yards. Nearest one was Treylon Burks, 4 receptions for 4 yards. Let's see here. For the Bengals, T. Higgins was their leading receiver, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 receptions. Nearest was the former Falcon Hayden Hurst, the tight end, 6 receptions, 57 yards in total.
Yeah, so I don't know why Tennessee did not run the ball more. 17 carries for Derrick Henry only. Come on.
I mean, it wasn't working. I was watching the game and it was not working for him. They were running the ball constantly. Bengals were packing the box. Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, and DJ Reader, as well as BJ Hill, Trey Hendrickson, and Sam Hubbard, were hunting Derrick Henry. They were going at the pulling guards. They were going at the tackles, hitting the fullbacks, and they were really limiting Derrick Henry. They were blitzing Mike Hilton a lot from the edge. Mike Hilton is a crazed maniac that does not care for his own well-being and will fly head on into Derrick Henry. Mike Hilton,
fair. I mean,
7 total tackles, 6 solos. Mike Hilton, just so you guys can put this in perspective, is 5'9", 184. There are multiple times where he solo tackled Derrick Henry by just turning himself into a fucking J-Dam missile and throwing himself directly into Derrick Henry's knees. That's the only way that he could tackle Derrick Henry, and he did it. Like, the guy has the heart of a lion.
I didn't know Ohio had a missile program.
Apparently, and its leader is Mike Hilton. If we could teach Jesse Bates to do that, that'd be great too, because that guy can't tackle for shit. Anyway, I, as a Bengals fan, liked the win. Came down. I think we should have won by more, but obviously Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, our lead receiver and lead running back, were both out, so I'm glad we got the win. And also,
he should be back next week, Joe Mixon.
Yes. Joe Mixon is on the trend to be back. Jamar Chase is most likely going to be back.
He's going to be back?
Yes.
I thought it was 1 more week. Okay.
No,
wait, did he tear up his ACL?
No, he wasn't.
No, what was it?
No, it was a hip injury. It was a hip oblique injury.
Hip. Okay.
Yeah. But I think the one big thing that I really liked in this game, especially in the past few games, even against the Steelers last week, is Lyle Collins' improvement. At the beginning of the season, I said it every week, he was getting put on his ass constantly. And then I think the Bengals had a moment in the bye week to kind of figure out what they were good at. Lyle Collins is a very good run blocker, but his pass blocking is not that great. So I think they worked on a couple things with him and really improved some of his pass blocking stances and movements, and he's not falling down as much. And he limited. TJ Watt was going at him the entirety of last week. Really stopped him well.
Yeah.
And there were a couple plays in this game where I saw Lyle Collins pull, and I was like, "Oh, this is what we needed." This guy is pulling around a corner like a damn freight train, a locomotive with 1,000 pounds of hogs in the back that is driving downhill on neutral. Like, it is.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie. Even at the beginning of the season, I was a little worried for the Bengals. They did not look that good, but they're starting to click. So this is very good.
Yeah.
I still attribute it to starting late in training camp. We started the latest of any team. I'm like, you got it. With so many new pieces, you got to start doing some things.
I mean, okay, fair.
Yeah, just thinking with the offensive line, what's going to be better, like on paper, and then they're starting to show that on paper, yeah, that starting line's actually good. Like 1 sack for 4 yards, and it's probably like a first down sack too. I don't know what down that was, and like this is a big win for the Bengals since Baltimore lost. They're going for the division lead, and
they're now tied, like, but are below because they lost in the only head-to-head matchup so far.
Yeah, and what's funny too, people complaining about the penalty against the Titans against the long snap for the field goal attempt.
Yeah,
people complain about why is that a penalty? Hold on, imagine 2 people hitting your head, especially big guys hitting your head that you can't even look up.
You can't do that.
There's a reason why that's actually a penalty. Now.
Yeah,
like, that's a penalty I don't mind because imagine
it's been a penalty for a while.
Yeah, forever.
Actually,
the Bengals were
no. It's recent.
Kind of recent.
You sure?
I think it's been since the 90s.
It's because what it is that you can't have 2 people go head to head into the long snapper.
Because don't they teach in training camp not to do that?
Because it's dangerous. The long snapper's head is down because he has to look down and snap the ball with both hands really quick, and then he can't really get his head up. So his head's just down.
Imagine
you hit him on the top of the head. That's compressing your spine. That's whatever.
Or when you try and get your head up, think of that whiplash of someone hitting you in the head when you're going up, and that can fuck up.
Most long snappers aren't even putting their heads up. They just sit down, just put their arms like this, and they're just praying to whatever god they believe in that they don't fall over.
But people complain about
they must got some big necks.
Yeah, but people complain about that's a soft. NFL's gay soft. Fuck no, that's actually fucking injuries that can happen. You fucking dumbass.
NFL's not soft. You kidding me?
Okay, NFL is soft after what they did about moving the game from Buffalo.
Okay,
that's soft.
Fair.
That is soft.
I'm talking about
that's soft.
I'm not talking about weather.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I still think like moving the kick up was a little bit of a soft change. Obviously, people were getting hurt in kickoffs, but at the same time, like we're never going to see any Devin Hesters again. Any NFL level, or even a little bit into the pretty good in the NFL level kickers are going to be able to kick a ball from where they're kicking it now in the 45 all the way to the back of the end zone. I swear, I don't think I've seen Evan McPherson this season kick one shorter than like the 10. Like he's kicked 10 and longer the entire, and like there's just.
I mean, it's been this year is Cordell Patterson returning one, and then there was someone else.
Remember Devin? Remember Devin Hester's returns
this year?
Like in 2006, Devin Hester was the man. That was the greatest special teams performance in a single season in the history of the NFL. We're never going to see that.
We didn't even need a good defense. We just had Devin Hester running the fuck out.
I kind of think that was also people kicking to Devin Hester. Now people are like, "Holy shit, we actually have to kick away from good people."
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought process. Bill Belichick did that. He's like, "Yeah, we're not fucking kicking to their best returner." But no, this is a big
one thing the NFL needs to soften up though is not using turf and switching the grass. All the field.
MetLife Stadium. What the fuck?
Aren't they gonna switch the grass?
They're planning to. It's not official.
Oh man, I don't
they
know.
Should,
I don't know if any. Well, hold on. I don't know if any type of natural material can survive in New Jersey. Have you seen any trees in eastern New Jersey? I mean, come on.
Oh, you can maintain that.
The smog.
Smog is Los Angeles, motherfucker.
No, I don't know, man. I swear to God, if you put a Geiger counter in the center of like Newark or Hoboken, that shit's gonna be clicking like my knees in the morning. Are you kidding me? The Hudson River.
Wait. Are you talking about radiation Geiger counters?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, bro, like Maston, if you don't think it's bad, go take a drink out of the Hudson right now. You won't, because you'll die.
How far?
That's because of fucking New Yorkers.
Oh, no. New York is the civilized side of the river. New York is the civilized side of the river. The other side is where all the filth and cesspool is, you know?
My mom will have to disagree. My mom, my grandmother would disagree.
Hey, what's wrong with Jersey?
My grandpa.
The turnpike's what's wrong with Jersey. I was driving on that turnpike to get to Connecticut, and I swear to God, people are zipping in and out of the thing like they're Mario Andretti in the fucking Cars 3.
Bro, that's
like,
how
I don't
it is
get
in Chicago.
Hold on, with that, I remember like that. One time when my mom was driving when I was younger, she's like, all right, fuck it. She's tired of traffic. She's like, I'm going fucking Jersey. And she just sits through. I'm like, holy fuck. But we made it. I had the oh shit bar. I had the oh shit bar almost tear it off.
Oh shit bar. Oh,
dude, at that point, you need to just like knock yourself out with something.
No, because we went to
speaking of the oh shit bar, Houston played again. Oh, Houston now 1-9-1 on the season. Lost to Miami in Miami 30-15 with Miami head coaches making jokes during the middle of the game to Tua as they are beating the ever-living dog shit out of the Texans day in and day out. Kyle Allen, the passer today for the Texans, 26 for 39 for 215, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 5 sacks. Tua Tagovailoa.
Who the fuck is Kyle Allen?
I don't know. I don't know.
He was drafted by Carolina some years ago, like about 2 or 3 years ago.
Tua Tagovailoa, 22 for 36, 299, 8.3, 1 touchdown, and 4 sacks. The leading rusher for Houston was Dare Ogunbowale.
14 yards. What? Oh, he's apparently from Wisconsin.
14 yards and 4 carries. Abysmal. The lead rusher for Miami wasn't much better. 13 carries for 39 yards, Jeff Wilson Jr. So not a big rushing game, but the passing game was well spread out for the Dolphins. 85 yards for Waddle, 85 yards for Tyreek, 55 for River Carcraft, and 33 for Trent Sherfield. For the Houston Texans, 61 for Jordan Atkins, 59 for Brandon I don't want to be here Cooks, and 44 for Nico Collins. This was Miami toying with its food in the simplest sense.
I mean, they threw in freaking Skyler. Texans are so fucking bad.
Oh my!
They're legitimately a XFL team. They should be relegated to the XFL.
I honestly think, I don't know who the Houston Texans are going to take in the draft, but I feel bad for whoever it is because they're probably going to get the first pick.
Oh yeah, they will, and it's gonna be a quarterback, 100%.
Is that Bryce Young? Is this Bryce Young a Houston Texan?
It's either Bryce Young, Stroud, Hendon Hooker. No, Hendon Hooker. Sorry,
but they still might take Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker looked great. I don't know. They could see something. It's also the Texans. Injury. I don't know. And then the USC quarterback's not ready yet, is he? He's not eligible yet. Williams. He's probably about to win the Heisman without the amount of injuries. Like Corum got hurt. He played a great game. His final game of the season against Notre Dame. He's probably going to, Williams is probably going to get the Heisman now. I still think, even as a Michigan fan, which by the way, fuck you, OSU, walked into your crib and put up 22 more points than you, won the game in your zone. So thank God for that. But Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, should win the Heisman. I know this is not a college football podcast, but at the same time, Marvin Harrison Jr. is insane. One drop in his final game of the season, over 1,000 yards receiving and nearly leading the FBS in touchdowns. Insane. But back to begrudgingly the NFL. Houston Texans, dog shit. Anyway.
It's okay if I say something about Texans?
They need to fire everyone from the Texans.
Well, okay.
They're going to lose the team. They're going to lose the team.
Well, okay, this is what happens when you had Bill O'Brien become a GM at the same time, and then all of a sudden, let's get a Patriots Easterby. Finally fired him earlier in the season. I know Lovie Smith is basically going to be a placeholder. They wanted Colt McCoy, I think it was, as a coach. I was like, why the fuck?
Why?
Just because Texas.
I think we talked about this actually.
The most amazing thing Colt McCoy has ever done is take Texas to a national championship and then get hurt in the first quarter and allow Alabama to start its reign of terror that finally is going to end this. I pray to God Alabama's reign of terror on the college football scene ends because they still have a fraction of a chance. No, but they have a fraction. No. They have an opportunity to make it to the college football playoff. Michigan. No. Listen. Michigan's a lock. Michigan. Whoa. Michigan's a lock. Even if they lose to Purdue, which I pray to God will not happen.
I thought Purdue's not playing in the Big Ten championship.
No, they are.
What do you mean? What do you mean not playing?
Hold on.
Wait, who told you that?
They won the Big Ten West. Whoa.
Hold on.
You're talking to a Purdue grad here. What you talking about?
Whoa.
I might have been thinking that someone else was in the West. Sorry, I was thinking someone else was in the West.
Yeah,
I know CJ Stroud.
Michigan, all right.
CJ Stroud is planning to not play in any games that are not college football playoff games. I know that, but that's the Ohio State quarterback, not the team of Purdue. But Purdue is playing Michigan in the Big Ten championship. Michigan is favored to win that. Michigan wins that, they're undefeated, they're getting in. LSU and Georgia, that's a bit closer, but I think Georgia's also insanely good. They're probably going to be LSU, they're going to get in. Even if they lose, they're also in. They have one loss on the season, and they're like SEC runner-ups. They're in. Both Michigan and Georgia, I think, are locks regardless of what happens. TCU is a Big 12 team, right? So their resume of who they've beaten is not that great. Texas, rough season. The Big 12 championships against Kansas State. Aaron Martinez is good, but also injured. Might not play. And
I hate how the college football system is.
They're also very streaky. Yeah. So if TCU loses, they are not a winner of a Power 5 conference. And to top it all off, Power 5 conferences have kind of died out. If you're not from the SEC or the Big Ten, it's kind of rough for you to get in because USC and UCLA are coming to the Big Ten. Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC. I bet you Clemson's going to go into the SEC because the ACC is dog shit. Florida State might come with them too, just so that you have that Florida State rivalry.
Blame Swofford for the fucking TV deal on the ACC.
But
North Carolina. But North Carolina motherfuckers. That's all I have to say. Fuck North Carolina.
So if TCU wins, they're in. They're an undefeated team. They'll be one of 3 possible undefeated teams left in the season. So that last spot right now, it looks like it's going to be USC. They're in the Pac-12 championship. They're going to go and play. Is it Washington? I think. Or
I'm checking.
I forget. Who are they playing?
Seems like I gotta do some football coverage for college.
They're playing some.
I haven't really Utah.
That's right, Utah. So they're going to go play Utah.
They barely lost to Utah.
Right. So they're getting revenge against Utah, hopefully here, which they're going to be very motivated. So if they go out and win, they're in. However, in the situation, if TCU loses, they're out. They are not after what Cincinnati did last season, which was lay a fucking egg in the playoff. They're not going to take a non-big school like that and have a strong conference. The TCU's out if they lose. If TCU loses in the Big 12 championship, they're out. So that leaves a spot open. If USC, thank you. If USC loses, they're probably also going to be knocked down or out, right? So even if they win, if TCU loses and USC wins, that leaves the 4th spot open. And the 2 teams that are right outside of the playoff right now, barring that LSU doesn't somehow win, the 2 teams outside of it right now are a 1-loss Ohio State and a 1-loss Alabama. Or 2-loss Alabama. So Ohio State's 1 loss was at home against Michigan in fair weather where they lost by nearly double their score. They scored 23 points and got beat by 22. Alabama's 2 losses were against Tennessee on a game-winning field goal and a 1-point loss against LSU in overtime on a 2-point conversion. The college football playoff has a semi-logical reason to put Alabama over Ohio State because Alabama has less points in multiple losses, and they're in a much stronger conference. Because besides Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State, the Big Ten this year has been bad. Washington's off the face of the earth. Wisconsin's off the face of the earth. Purdue sucks. Indiana sucks. Illinois has been rough. Nebraska sucks. Michigan State is not bowl eligible this year.
You got Purdue winning the Big Ten West. Of course, it's not a good year for the Big Ten.
What this whole rant means is that there is a opportunity and a probability that Alabama makes it into the college football playoff, because I would love nothing more than to see those two disgusting teams, Alabama and Ohio State, not be in the college football playoff, because their fans would lose their minds.
Hold on. The reason why Alabama's going to get in because ESPN will pay for it.
Yep.
That's why I don't watch that much college football. Oh, that's why I don't watch that much college football that much. Because
the format.
But also, you're from Virginia, and all the teams from Virginia suck.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Moving on to the
what conference? What conference are they in? What conference are Minnesota?
Virginia Tech, ACC.
Virginia. Yes. Yeah, Virginia Tech and Virginia.
Well, no, fuck Virginia. I hate UVA.
And even West Virginia.
Because
those are all ACC
West Virginia's
teams, right?
Big 12.
Or the Big 12, yeah.
West Virginia.
And those are barely Power 5 conferences now. The ACC's only good team every year is Clemson and sometimes Florida State. And the Big 12 looks like it's going to be TCU's. It was
Virginia Tech from 2002 till 2011.
Right. And now it just looks like
Clemson.
The Big 12 is just going to be run by TCU annually.
Yeah. But no, it's why I don't watch that much college football, because I hate when it's like, oh, this team looks good, so we rank them higher. That's why I like NFL of, here's the actual standings of wins, losses. Yeah. Plus, also, I never watched college football until now, because I'm the first college student in my family. Everybody else enlisted in the military.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Bears Jets. The coin flip was finally wrong as the Jets take the win at home, 31-10 against the Bears. The Bears had a big issue. Justin Fields had separated his shoulder and is out. Then Nathan Peterman was warming up and decided to strain his abdominal muscles.
No. Simeon was the one that strained. They thought Nathan Peterman was coming in.
Oh, yeah, other way.
Simeon got some fucking painkillers. He went, Timmy.
So Trevor Seaman stayed in. I guess his name is Seaman because that man got absolutely nutted on this whole game. Got destroyed.
Oh my
14 for 20. This is not a classy podcast if you haven't figured that out already. Trevor.
Timmy.
14 for 25, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 2 sacks. Mike White, 22 for 28, 315, 11.3 yard average, 3 touchdowns, and 1 sack. Wow. The rushing game for the Bears looked actually pretty good. David Montgomery, 79 yards and 14 carries, and Darrington Evans, 9 carries for 34 yards. For the Jets, it was pretty good as well. Zovian Knight for 69 yards and 14 carries, and Ty Johnson, 62 yards on 5 carries. So doing pretty well in both of the rushing yards there. I'll tell you, besides David Montgomery, I've not heard of either of these teams' running backs, so that's interesting. Look who finally is leading the Chicago Bears passing attack with 51 yards. Chase Claypool, 5 targets, 2 receptions, 51 yards, no touchdowns. He sucks. David Montgomery was the next
look at that average, though. Come on, 25.
Gotta
give it to him.
Yeah, that's because Sauce Gardner was probably not guarding him. David Montgomery, 3 receptions for 34 yards, was the next highest receiver for New York. Garrett Wilson, 5 receptions, 95 yards, and Elijah Moore, 64 yards on 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and 1 touchdowns for each of them, respectively. New York handled business on the back of one and only Magic Mike White.
Like motherfucking White.
Dude, this looks so fucking bad for Zach Wilson. Hurt his career.
Especially the shit he said last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? And then you know, people coming after him and talking about how he has no like accountability and leadership and responsibility because apparently he grew up spoon-fed his whole life. Like that extracurricular, if you will.
I mean,
stuff
he's slanging
on top
milfs,
of that.
Of course, he's getting spoon-fed.
He probably got benched and boned Salah's wife or something. Dude, this man's Zach Wilson needs to calm down. Zach Wilson needs to calm down.
Yeah, he's just like locker room cancer. He needs to figure his shit out. But
the only person to break the coin prediction was Mike motherfucking White.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. But Mike White, dude, even last year, like he had a couple of like I wouldn't say flashy, but like outstanding games where he just looked like a fucking stud. Like Jesus Christ, I think Jets might have something good in Mike White, and I mean they got to go with hot hand right now. So.
And honestly, like this season, I don't know if they'll be able to. They're 7-4, so they could make some moves. But at the same time, I think next season you get Bell back, or is it, not Bell. What's the running back's name?
Bryce Hall.
Bryce Hall, not Bell. Hall. You get Hall back. That Hall White combo. Whoo. Get a good receiver. Draft a good receiver as well out of the draft. You know,
I mean, Garrett Wilson's doing good.
He is, but get another option out there. You know, you already got CJ Uzomah, who's still young, proving to be doing pretty well. Get some more defense. Quentin Williams.
I think you upgrade defense more.
And they have James Robinson. I don't know why they haven't really used.
And Sauce Gardner has already proved he's one of the better cornerbacks in the league thus far. Like he's doing insane this season. Like he's the lock for defensive player of the year or rookie of the year. At least.
Different year, yeah.
Honestly, defensive player of the year. Has anyone else stood out? Watt has been injured. Garrett's not looked great. Micah Parsons maybe.
Micah Parsons, I can
see. I really don't
Micah Parsons does show like the only you have to game plan against Micah Parsons, and it's kind of hard to you have to really try against Micah Parsons.
Zadarius Smith for the Vikings might get it. I don't.
Just real quick before everyone jumps on Mike White's cock and rides his dick, the Bears defense is very banged up. You lost Eddie Jackson, and it's just looking bad. He did face
I'm gonna be honest
with
you.
Defense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if Mike White, or even if the Bears defense had a good defense, which they don't, or even if the Bears defense was healthy,
you think Mike White would still torch a good defense?
Mike White would still torch a Bears defense. Hell yeah,
because of all you traded to.
Yeah, who do you have on defense?
No, currently we have no one.
No. I'm saying exactly. It's a bunch of nobodies. Mike White will dodge you up. I'm surprised Mike White didn't throw for 5,000 yards.
But what I'm saying is Mike White he was facing off a very beat up defense. So,
but still remember
next week.
Last year against the Bengals, he put up 400 plus yards. Mike White seems like he's doing pretty good for himself. All right.
Yeah. Also, the coin still says Jets go to the AFC Championship game. They lose it, but
I bet you the coin was synced with Zach Wilson and not with.
Maybe.
Well, no, but Flacco also played.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Played. So remember, the Raiders did, because remember this, the Raiders had the coin almost perfect except for 2 games where one that they should have lost, they won. And one where they should have won, they lost, and still made it. The coin was predicted that we're in the
coin was probably predicting that Justin Fields would be playing, so.
Yeah. Yeah. And Khalil Herbert.
Trade Zach Wilson, get rid of the MILF monster.
Alrighty. Anyway, next up we have Atlanta and the Washington Commanders. Washington at home for this 19-13 victory against the Falcons, coming down to the wire on, I believe it was a pick that ended the game. Was that correct? Or
yes, it was a pick.
Interception at the end of the game. Marcus Mariota throwing that one interception in the end zone that sealed the game.
Oh,
yep. 15 for 25, 174 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. Taylor Hennessy, 14 for 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, taking no sacks. The leading rushers for Atlanta were Cordell Patterson with 52 yards and Tyler Aguilera with 54 yards. For Washington, Brian Robinson Jr. torched him 105 yards and 18 carries. Again, picking up Brandon Sheriff for Washington was a great pickup, really helping them run the ball to a higher efficiency. The leading receiver for Atlanta was Olamide Zaccheaus with 91 yards and 5 receptions. Who? Drake London, 29 yards on 2 receptions, and Cordell Patterson, 19 yards on 3 receptions. For Washington, Terry McLaurin was the leader with only 48 yards of receiving. Next was John Bates with 24, and Tony Gibson with 22, and Brian Robinson Jr. with 20. A very dominant run game for the Washington Commanders, and a close game that ended up with them winning and still maintaining a above 500 record by advancing to 7-5, still at the bottom of their division, as you can see here.
Which is... Actually, there was a graphic I saw the other day where the NFC, or in the NFC, the wild cards are literally Dallas, New York, Washington, all in the NFC East.
It's
insane.
If Atlanta would have won, they would have been tied with Washington for the last wild card spot.
Yeah. And now you have the exact polarity of, I think, the worst and best division in football this season is the NFC South and East. Philadelphia 10-1, Dallas 8-3, New York 7-4, Washington 7-5, compared to the NFC South, which is Tampa Bay leading the division with a 5-6 record, next to Atlanta 5-7, Carolina 4-8, and New Orleans 4-8.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane that the Commanders are actually good this year. Like,
this was a Ron Rivera.
It boggles my mind.
This was a typical Ron Rivera game: run and defense.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for fucking Dan Snyder, Washington would be tolerable in my standards.
Maybe selling the team apparently.
They need new colors.
Well, did you see the fucking Sean Taylor? Did you see the Sean Taylor statue?
Oh my!
Sean Taylor.
I got
Sean Taylor, the famous safety for the Washington, formerly Redskins, now Commanders, actually played for them for a long time, was a really successful player, had multiple Pro Bowls, first team all selections, died as a case of, I believe, gun violence, and passed away while he was still with the team. And they decided to, last year, retire his number, and they put a little spot on the field. It was just a little circle with his number in it and a chain around it. And then, as we all probably saw, Patrick Mahomes' stupid brother, decided to do a TikTok dance on that circle in the middle of a game, which was terrible. Then Washington goes out and has this next thing for Sean Taylor, which is they just grab a generic Sean Taylor jersey, pants, shoes, socks, and a helmet, not even with Sean Taylor's really distinct face mask tape on it, and string it up inside of a metal skeleton, which is literally just, doesn't even look like a skeleton, it's just wires that are holding this all in a glass box. It's the most. It
was a Nike's.
Yeah.
A Nike's jersey with Reebok's pants.
Yeah. It was the most disrespectful.
Terrible.
Like, Philadelphia has a bronze statue of Nick Foles calling for the Philly special in the Super Bowl outside of their stadium. And Sean Taylor, who is probably one of the best, if not the best Washington players of all time, gets a hodgepodge jersey strung up by fishing wire. This is the most pitiful, disgusting, retrograde, just a hemorrhoid on the side of the NFL any organization could be. This is worse than the Browns. That's coming from a Bengals fan.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to fucking sell the team, so he's he doesn't give a shit. So
I want someone to buy that team that has the same, because when if we're going to basketball here for, I know, crossover episode, we're going everywhere. When what was his name? When
Sterling? You talking about Donald Sterling for Knicks?
No. Clippers, former Clippers owner.
Oh, I don't know his name, but he's a racist.
Didn't he get kicked out because NBA?
He got kicked out. Yeah, Adam Sterling banned him for life. I don't remember his name. His name's not even worth being remembered. He was an asshole. But he had to sell the team. Eventually, sold it to Steve Ballmer, who was one of the guys that helped start Microsoft. And I remember Steve Ballmer. I'm a Clippers fan. Steve Ballmer bought the team and had this press conference where he was so red in the face from screaming, clapping his hands, screaming, throwing shit. I'm like, this is the owner you want. This guy who's invested in the team, is out there, the Mark Cuban guy that shows up to every game, is ready to go, clapping for the team, will defend them for everything. You want that kind of owner. So I hope an owner like that gets the Commanders, is super excited about them, and realizes this is ass, goes out of Washington, goes to Arlington, makes a new team, new stadium, new colors, new branding, removes the old history. Yeah.
NFL teams are expensive, so it's going to be a group of owners. It's not going to be one person.
I think it's going to be one person.
Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers for over $2 billion.
Yeah, but
Washington
NBA
is
teams
around
are
there,
cheaper than an NFL team.
Imagine if Elon Musk buys Washington Commanders.
Bro, it'd be more useful than fucking Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter stock, bro.
Actually, it's not even.
Twitter was always shit. It's just people.
Twitter's delisted from the stock market. It's not a. It's a private company now.
Whatever,
it's not public.
Whatever. Whatever. Twitter was always shit. It's just people.
That's why I like
right
Elon
now.
Musk. I like Elon Musk because he bought Twitter and he's killing Twitter. So thank you, Mr. Musk, for killing Twitter because it is a sore on the face of humanity.
It's a hive mind saying killing Twitter, but it's not dead. That's all.
I mean, you spent a lot of money to kill Twitter, like golly.
It's got a lot to spend.
No, this makes me feel bad for Ron Rivera, even though they're actually having a winning record. Just Ron Rivera is actually a decent coach.
Oh,
like,
this
he's not
game.
a bad coach.
Bronco country, let's ride.
Let's
Bronco
die.
country, let's ride.
Oh God, Mamba just died. He saw that.
My audio keeps on cutting out. I don't know why.
I
don't
want to watch Russell Wilson play another NFL football game because it's so bad.
But
it's
the
like
Darnold is back. The Darnold is back.
Team.
That's because fucking
the Panthers are debatably the second worst team in the NFL. Sam Darnold's back, threw not even 20 passes, scored a rushing touchdown by fumbling the fucking football forward and rolling into it like a damn pumpkin roll on your stomach on Thanksgiving into the end zone for a touchdown. Yes, scoring one of 2 touchdowns that Carolina had. Denver scored 10 points on 19 for 35 by Russell Wilson, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 sacks. The leading rusher for Denver was Latavius Murray with 92 yards. The leading receiver was Cortland Sutton with 75 yards. And Jerry Jeudy was even out for this. On the side of the ball for Carolina, their defense for the Denver was so awful that Donta Foreman, 113 yards on 24 carries. DJ Moore, 103 yards on 4 carries or 4 receptions.
Receptions.
Yeah.
And Chuba Hubbard.
So 4 receptions. Sam Darnold only threw 19 times. Okay? So that's about 20, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to take 4 divided by 20, what would you get, Mr. Engineer?
4 divided by 20?
Yeah.
That's like
20 divided by 4.
Sorry, 20. Yeah, sorry, 20 divided by 20 divided by 4.
You want us to do fucking fractions?
5. Yeah. 20 divided by
decimal.
20. Sorry. 20 divided by 4.
Yeah, it's 20 divided by 4. It's 5.
5. So what is that? Okay, now I'm messing up. It's like a fourth of his passes or a fifth of his passes were going to this one person. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Well, yeah, no, fifth now. Now, if you do 4 divided by 20, it's a fifth.
Yeah, it's.
I don't like math, and Russell Wilson and the Broncos make my head hurt. Carolina takes a win 23-10 at home. We're not talking about this game. Fuck off.
You know what's sad though? Denver was the #1 scoring defense until this game. Guess who took the place now?
Who?
Scoring defense.
Scoring defense?
San
Francisco.
San Fran.
Yeah. They got a good defense. Yeah.
Now, so now San Fran's the #1 overall defense. I saw.
That's good. Another reason why Brady's going there in the offseason. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Really
He's going to San Francisco. Dude, he wants. Something about this just feels right for me. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd put $100 on that right now.
But he lost all his money in FTT, so
Lamar Jackson. Or what am I doing? We got to cover the game first. Jacksonville takes the win at home against the Baltimore Ravens. The most interesting part about this game was probably the Jacksonville mascot, who was wearing an American Speedo the whole game and gyrating his hips. It was so weird. Funny. I was watching the game like, oh, please, Baltimore lose. And like Jacksonville scores a touchdown. I'm like, yes, let's go. And they pan over to the Jacksonville mascot that just got its hands on his hip and wearing nothing but a Speedo. And I'm like, what the what?
Okay. Okay, I would say about that with the Speedo with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was making render rouladins. It's beef wrapped. It's bacon, onions, mustard, and pickles wrapped in roast beef. It's a German dish. I actually said on Discord one time, it's like, hey, Jacksonville, if you want to make me fucking have my eyes watered, like eyes tear out, I'm making render rouladins with the fucking onions because that was burning my eyes.
It was like, a weird thing to look at for Jacksonville.
It was funny as fuck, though.
Trevor Lawrence, 29 for 37, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and 4 sacks. Lamar Jackson, 16 for 32, 254 yards, rushing for 89 yards and 14 carries, throwing 1 touchdown and taking 1 sack. The rushing attack for Jacksonville sucked. The highest rusher was Jermichael Hasty, who didn't look very hasty while running the ball, 12 carries on 28 yards. Zay Jones, 145 yards receiving for Jacksonville. Don't know who the fuck that is, but good job on him for pulling up so many numbers.
He's been around for a bit.
I'm not very familiar on a lot of the Jacksonville receiving core, so that might be on me.
Zay Jones and Christian Kirk.
27.
Christian Kirk got that extension that you guys were like, he got overpaid.
Well, I know Christian Kirk because he got overpaid. And I also know Marvin Jones Jr. because he was a former Bengal. And then Ingram was a tight end for the Giants. I don't know. I didn't know Jay Jones. Stonehands, yeah. The leading rusher, besides Lamar Jackson, with 89 yards for Baltimore, was Gus Edwards with 52. And leading receiver was Josh Oliver with 76 yards. And Deshaun Jackson, who had 74 yards, 50 of those came on one long pass, which he had to sit up for afterwards because that man ran so fast, his old bones could not keep up. Deshaun Jackson's, I don't know how he's still playing. He shows up every once in a while. I'm like, what the hell? And he's still fast.
He's still fast, yeah.
Oh, I don't get it. But yeah,
I have a love-hate relationship with Deshaun Jackson.
The biggest thing with this game is that it came down to the very end. Baltimore got it far down the field, then had some issues getting backed up with some penalties and some loss of downs and yardage, and eventually had to kick a 67-yard field goal. And Justin Tucker didn't have the length in his kick by about maybe 4 feet. So
it was
close. A 67-yarder outside in Florida, which is not mile high, very low to the sea level, not a lot of really light wind and high altitude.
Humidity.
Yeah. But
I mean, this one, Doug Pearson, fucking ballsy, calling that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, putting him up
tying the game.
He's always been like that. If you saw with the Eagles, he's always been like that.
I mean, he got some balls, I gotta say.
I got balls. Yeah. I smoke stogies. I don't care what any of you think.
I had to say this. This is Trevor Lawrence showing why he was a first round. I don't know was he the first round pick? Yeah, he was the first round. He was the first overall.
Yeah,
a couple years ago. Like, you wonder why Urban Meyer's a shit coach. I know Jacksonville's 4-7, but I mean, still better than what they were last year. I mean, good God. Just Trevor Lawrence actually showed he can actually do something.
I mean, Urban Meyer was a shit coach because he's a shit person, but kicking kickers in the legs as they're warming up for the game.
No. This was preseason. He did it during training camp.
All right, moving on. Cardinals and Chargers. The Call of Duty woes continue for Kyler Murray. 18 for 29, 191, 6.6 average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 sack. Justin Herbert, 47 passing attempts, completing 35 of them. 274 yards with 4 sacks and 3 touchdowns. He was also their leading rusher with 38 yards. Austin Ekeler was a good running back, but he is not a very good, running the ball running back. He's a very good pass catcher, but he only had 20 yards.
Catcher,
20 yards in total for him on the rushing end. For Arizona, the leader was James Conner with 120 yards of rushing on 25 carries. DeAndre Hopkins was Arizona's leading receiver with 87 yards and 4 receptions. Marquise Brown, 46 and 6 for him.
He's back. Marquise Brown is back.
For the Chargers, DeAndre Carter, 73 yards and 7 receptions, and Austin Ekeler, 60 yards and 11 receptions, and Keenan Allen sneaking in there, 49 yards and 5 receptions. Arizona gets this in a very, very, very close game.
Yeah, Chargers this actually came down to another 2-point conversion for the win.
Yeah. Chargers making a gutsy play to call it. Really showing what they're doing on the side of the ball, not wanting to put games up because they need to win, and so did Arizona, but not looking good for Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I don't got too much else to say, but Chargers just really squeaking out on that 2-point conversion, right? And very lucky.
People expected the AFC West to be so good, and Denver sucks. Las Vegas has been very bad, and the Chargers have struggled with injuries and close games, and Kansas City is the only good team at a 9-2 record. And on the opposite side, the NFC West, Arizona's 4-8. Only below them is the very, very bad and paying for their Super Bowl Los Angeles Rams. Above them is Seattle at 6-5, and at the top, San Francisco 7-4.
I thought in this game also, if you look at the rushing attempts by Chargers, it's less than the completions by Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
They didn't rush that much either.
They don't have a good running back, though. Like, Austin Eckler's a good running back, but he's not a running back. He's a receiving back. So he's not good between the tackles as much as other guys are.
I mean, if you don't want Justin Herbert to get hurt again, especially with his rib injuries, 47 attempts is still a lot for him.
So many teams are just looking at Rodgers, Brady, Manning, and they are not balancing their attack, and it's awful. It's biting them in the butt. The Chargers are right now.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Keenan Allen's coming back from injury. Mike Williams is hurt. Joshua Palmer is he's trying to do.
I mean, yeah, they have targets now, so they can actually throw the ball. But I don't know.
Like, Brandon Staley as a good coach is still iffy on that one. Kingsbury needs to be fired.
I mean, if you look at Arizona, they actually had a more spread out offensive game than the Chargers. So, yeah.
Kingsbury needs to be fired. He's another coach that needs to be fired. Besides McDaniels and Hackett.
Hackett, man.
Hackett. All right, we should move on.
Yeah, we're already pushing 120 as it is in this podcast. This is a long one, but thank you for joining along on the ride. Next up, a close game that came down to the wire. Another one, a lot of close games this weekend. Las Vegas Raiders going into Seattle, winning the game in overtime on a game-winning walk-off run by Josh Jacobs, winning 40-34. Derek Carr, 25 for 36, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, one of which was on the first play of the game, and 1 sack. Geno Smith, 27 for 37, 328, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 3 sacks. Also rushing for 22 yards on 5 carries. The leading rusher for Las Vegas, Josh motherfucking Jacobs. Actually, honestly, now that I think about it, Josh Jacobs might get the MVP, especially after a game like this. 33 carries.
He's not, because they're not going to give it to it. They're not going to give it
to
a non-playoff team. They never give it to a non-playoff team.
True, but if we're looking at Josh Jacobs and we're looking at let's go.
He's also questionable now. Did he get hurt?
He's always been questionable.
Look at this: yards, 229, 109, 143, 154, 144. His lowest in the season was 43 against New Orleans.
All right, pull up Derrick Henry. Pull up Derrick Henry. Pull up Derrick Henry.
I think Josh Jacobs actually has just above rushing yards than Derrick Henry right now. Like, not much, but like just above. I might be thinking something wrong.
Yeah, 38, 87. Like, his 2 biggest games are 219 against Houston. Yeah, 114, 102, 128, 219, 115. Yeah.
He actually has
you are right. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs has the most amount of running yards.
Yeah, he does have the most amount of rushing yards.
It goes Derrick Henry, then Nick Chubbs, then Barkley.
Yeah, but Josh Jacobs had 229 yards of rushing on 33 carries. And
what's actually really funny, how with the fantasy points right now, Austin Eckler is the best running back.
It's because of PPR.
I know. It's so stupid. But
also, this is the other reason. Josh Jacobs led his team in running and also in receiving, 74 yards on 6 receptions over Devontae Adams with 7 receptions for 74 yards.
What I'm saying is the reason why they're not going to give Josh Jacobs MVP because they don't give MVP to a team that's not in the playoffs. When was that? When was the last time that ever happened?
No idea.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Seattle had a tough time running the ball. Only 26 yards for Kenneth Walker. DK Metcalf was the leading receiver with 90 yards of receiving on 11 receptions. Tyler Lockett 68 yards on 3 receptions.
Yeah, what happened to their defense? Like, they could not stop their defense run at all.
Their defense is not that good.
Their defense is streaky, but also it's a lot better against the pass. The Vegas Raiders obviously had a very good run game. Their best interior lineman right now for the Seahawks is Poona Ford, who's not going to be able to stop Josh Jacobs alone.
This was just Josh Jacobs basically team on his back.
I mean, Seahawks need to make a push for the playoffs here, and it's going to be hard.
Nobody expected the Seahawks to actually be in playoff contention. They thought they were going to be the worst team in the whole league.
That is true.
One of the worst. Like, this is a surprise. And Geno Smith wasn't bad this game. Not great, but like he wasn't bad this game.
He had better stats than Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I mean,
higher
they'll have an
percentage,
easy
328
Seahawks will have
yards
an easy
opposed to
time games in
285.
playoffs because the only two teams behind them is Arizona and Los Angeles, and both of them are absolute trash cans.
Yeah.
And everybody thought Los Angeles would be leading division.
Seattle could also like just absolutely run away with this. You know, they really put together some games. They could run away with this. NFC
Well,
West.
wait, wild
Fran's
card
still
is
tough.
4 teams or 5 teams in each division.
It goes the top 4, so division winners, and then it's 3 non-division winners.
Yeah.
So then it's the NFC.
It's gonna be
East.
Dallas. It's Dallas, Giants, Washington for the wild card.
So Seahawks might not even make it into the playoffs.
Maybe
It's a possibility,
because
but they're
NFC
only like 2 games back from the lead of their division. So if they go,
it all depends on the Commanders. It all depends on the Commanders at this point.
No, it depends on them.
Commanders-
No. It depends on them going and beating the 49ers. I think.
Okay.
Do they play the 49ers twice? Let's take a look.
one more time, I think, or what's their
Seahawks.
last
Yeah.
game?
So they'll play the Seahawks in 3 weeks, and if they beat the 49ers there, that's a full game up, and plus they're even against each other. So just go after that and go win.
They got the Rams next week.
And
That's a
gonna be
must win.
That's an easy win.
I mean,
especially after this game.
It should be.
Do we even want to talk about this one? This was the Bryce Perkins-led Los Angeles Rams scoring 10 points in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen.
The Kansas City Chiefs put up 26 on 320 yards from Patrick Mahomes, 69 rushing yards from Isaiah Pacheco, 57 receiving yards from Travis Kelce, 56 from Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 38 from Juju Smith-Schuster, 36 from Sky Moore, 26 from Justin Watson, 26 from Jody Fortson, 26 from Jack McKinnon, 22 from Ronald Jones, 17 from Isaiah Pacheco, and 16 from Noah Gray. Mahomes is distributing the ball like a lunch lady in the middle of a soup kitchen. It's just going out everywhere. It's just flying off the pans. Meatloaf, 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 meatloaf. Everywhere.
They have so many people they could throw it to. It's kind of insane.
Absolutely. It's insane what he's doing.
Just wait until Odell shows up.
No, he's not.
He's not going to.
He's probably going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Or Giants. He might be back in Giants.
Oh, because he got kicked off a plane.
Yeah, the leading.
Not that. Well, not just that, but
that sounds like someone.
Going to Giants.
Yeah,
that sounds like someone Jerry Jones will pick up.
Leading rusher for the Rams was Bryce Perkins with 44 yards. Leading receiver was Van Jefferson with 29 yards.
Hey, what the fuck? The quarterback had more rushing yards?
Yep. Well, because Rams doesn't have a running back. Cam Akers is fucking he's not doing that good.
He's doing awful.
No, he's bad.
Matthew Stafford's out. Cooper Kupp's out.
He's not going to be playing.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's out. Andrew Whitworth retired. The Rams are paying desperately.
Isn't Aaron Donald also hurt?
Yes, high ankle sprain.
Yep. Yeah. And this is Kroenke does not give a fuck because he got his ring. And he got an NHL championship because he's the owner of the Colorado Avalanche.
I just want to.
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to make a video that's just like Aaron Donald be like, let's run it back, and then like it's what's it called, the curb your expectations. Yeah, curb your expectation music plays after that. Dum 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 dun 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 dun. Yeah, just the Rams are 3-8.
And also stop giving the shit again.
Yeah, that's true. And also with the Chiefs, Andy Reid always has spread out for receivers. He doesn't give it to one person all the time.
So Christmas falls on a Sunday this year, and I saw a blurb from Adam Schefter that the Rams are trying to give away tickets for free when they play the Broncos on Christmas Day.
Yo, who wants to go to LA?
No, I'm gonna be in Texas. I want to visit my
brother. I got a party here.
That game is gonna suck.
Actually,
it's gonna be in the stadium.
Holy shit!
No one's
my brother's
gonna
hate me because he doesn't watch. My brother doesn't watch sports, but he's gonna be pissed at me when I'm gonna watch on my phone.
Bro, they should charter people from Tijuana to LA to be at the game.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Saints and 49ers. New Orleans Saints got blanked by the 49ers, 13-0 in favor of the 49ers. The defense really showing up from a day that the offense wasn't really clicking on all cylinders for San Francisco. For the Saints, Andy Dalton, 18 for 29, 204, 7-yard average, 1 sack. Also was their leading rusher, Andy Dalton, Andy, the Red Rifle Dalton. Andy from TCU Dalton. Andy, the redheaded stepchild Dalton, rushing for 21 yards.
Andy, the Christian.
Fucked over by Cincinnati, Dalton.
Yeah. Now he was. I don't think he was fucked over by Cincinnati. He had a good career there, but he had his.
I know, but I'm
saying
losing. Just
he had an amazing defense. I like
Marvin
Andy
Lewis.
Dalton.
Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis was a decent coach.
I mean, you've had some decent quarterbacks.
Well,
we were making the playoffs every year, and then taking a year off, make the playoffs 2 years, a year off, 2 years. Like it was just that constant cycle. And then it would be AJ Green would get wide the fuck open on anybody, and then Andy Dalton would throw it 10 yards under, and I'm like, oh, God.
I mean, you had Palmer. I forget his first name.
Carson Palmer was a lot better. Yeah, Carson Palmer. Our best quarterbacks of all time were Kenny Anderson, Boomer Esiason, Carson Palmer, Andy Dalton, and then now Burrow could be thrown. Yeah. Well, I mean, his career's still young, but I think you could honestly throw Burrow right next to, in front of, or behind Boomer at this point. But Boomer does have an MVP. Carson Palmer had an MVP season in 2005, and they decided not to give it to him because no one likes the Bengals.
The Bengals.
NFL. But yeah, Carson Palmer should have been an MVP. Boomer Esiason's Hall of Famer and an MVP. Ken Anderson should be a Hall of Famer and has an MVP. He has better stats than Dan Fouts. Fuck that.
You like a team that's...
Fuck that San Diego, beard-wearing, barely passing shithead. Fuck Dan Ohio, Fouts so much. I hate Dan Fouts because he's over...
You know your place. You're from Ohio.
You are from Chicago.
Would you like to talk about it later?
The state of Ohio. What's in Ohio? Please tell me. Even Joe Burrow was like, "Oh, there's not much to do here." So
Joe Burrow is 3 times the quarterback Justin Fields will ever be. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. All right. Leading receiver for New Orleans was 62 yards receiving for Chris Olave. Next was Rashid Shareed with 53 yards. San Francisco, again, didn't really do that well on offense. They had 1 touchdown scored by Juwan Jennings, or a 49-yard receiving for him. Leading receiver was Brandon Ayuk with 65. Deebo Samuel only had 43. George Kittle only had 26. And Christian McCaffrey only had 17. His rush yards also were only 32. Elijah Mitchell was the leading rusher with 35. So not a great game from San Francisco offensively. They had a really bad time trying to operate the ball against a pretty good Saints defense. But at the end, their now #1 rated defense, as Maston alluded to earlier, is putting in the work, blanking the Saints.
I mean, San Fran's defense is good. Like, I would have to say, San Fran's a scary team to face against the playoffs.
Oh yeah. They have all these weapons. They have kind of pass first running backs, a really good O-line, a really good defense. This kind of seems like a team that won a bunch of Super Bowls somewhere in Foxborough a lot. They're just missing one piece. A John Grady, right? That's probably...
You're really going hard on that one.
He is going there next season. Listen, he's going there next season.
Don't jump scare like that ever again.
He's going there next... I fucked up my camera. Oh, my God. He's going there next season. He is... Like, everything makes sense. He has always been a San Francisco 49ers fan. He grew up in the Bay Area. They have an amazing team, an O-line that'll block from, the best left tackle in the past couple years of football, maybe in the last decade.
5 years.
Yeah. And then you have... Well, Joe Thomas. Yeah. But
Joe Thomas, yeah.
An insane amount of weapons. You have the closest thing to Rob Gronkowski and George Kittle. You have speedsters like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. You also have Christian McCaffrey, who's probably the best receiving back in the NFL still if he can stay healthy, which he has done so far, knock on wood. And then you also have Elijah Mitchell, who can run the ball decently well, especially in a situation where you're going to be doing a lot of play action. This screams Tom Brady with a capital T.
The only thing I'd say for right now, Deebo Samuel did get hurt this game, I thought.
Let's check.
Yes, he did play, but I think he got hurt in the middle of the game.
Who cares? You have McCaffrey. Yes. You're fine.
Yeah.
Well, so many weapons. Who cares?
But he helps.
Or if Rodgers goes to the... he can't because his contract's too long. But if Rodgers went to that team, that's the weapons. Oh, my God.
Well, I think
honestly, someone could trade for Rodgers.
But who would take that cap space?
No.
Who would take that cap space?
Yeah.
That man's getting paid more than most NBA players.
Really? Yeah, but you also got... I mean, we'll go to this. I just want to mention real quick. Jordan Love. It's actually pretty good. So he wasn't doing too bad.
He's just not having much chances.
Philadelphia Eagles at home in the link against Green Bay, winning 40-33 on Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, 11 for 16. Very few passing attempts for him. Out in the game with an abdominal injury. In comes Jordan Love, went 6 for 9 for 113 yards to Aaron Rodgers 140. He threw a touchdown to Aaron Rodgers 1 and 0 interception to Aaron Rodgers 2. Jalen Hurts, 16 for 28, 153 with 2 touchdowns and 2 sacks. Also running for 157 yards and 17 carries, while Miles Sanders ran for 143 yards and 21 carries, carving up that Green Bay defense, which is not good at run stopping. Green Bay on the running side didn't do great. A.J. Dillon, 64 yards. Aaron Jones, 43. On the receiving end, Christian Watson finally coming into his own. Another week, another good game for him. 4 receptions, 1 touchdown, 110 yards. Next up was Aaron Jones with 56 yards and 3 receptions. Philadelphia, 50 yards for Devontae Smith. And A.J. Brown, 46 yards and 1 touchdown. Not looking great thus far for A.J., but he's going to go play the Titans, so be prepared for him to have a big game next week and a revenge game for him. Macedon, as the resident Eagles fan, what'd you think?
Fucking run game was fucking going off. Oh my God, that was so beautiful to see. Like, I love that Joe Barry did not even stack the box.
Bro, I was scared for you for a hot second until the second quarter.
That's gonna be the defense, because you're like, oh, the Green Bay rushing attack wasn't that good. Fucking, they got 106 yards, like total. Like because you don't have Jordan Davis. Fucking rush defense sucking ass. And look, screen passes. Like to Aaron Jones or someone else, the screen passes was destroying the Eagles. Fucking, oh, look, our secondary is not going to basically get the middle of the field, let Christian Watson go in the middle, get a fucking 63-yarder for a touchdown. Gardner Johnson got hurt. Avonte Maddox is out. Like, what the fuck, secondary? Why are you giving space? I know they got the interception.
And even then, you guys also were supposed to fix the issues in the middle because you signed Pro Bowl DT, Linval Joseph, and Pro Bowl DT, Super Bowl champion, both of them Super Bowl champions, actually, Ndamukong Suh.
But he didn't play that much. Gannon doesn't fucking use him. Fucking our defensive coordinator is fucking scared
honestly,
to blitz.
You could use Ndamukong Suh at edge rusher. You could have him and Smith be edge rushers. Suh played edge rusher a lot, and he's honestly good at that position.
I wish, but Gannon does not. Gannon's fucking scared fuckless.
Yeah.
He's scared to fuck.
Again, Green Bay losing Rodgers in the middle of the game, even though he said he will return this weekend, apparently, that guy takes enough Quaaludes to drop a horse from 90 miles, so.
Timmy.
All right, and
Saturday
lost.
Let Mamba talk. He said,
"Yeah, I mean, hot take. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be at Packers anymore next year. He's going to get traded."
That's a tall order on short notice, buddy.
And also, who would take that cap space?
I don't know, but someone.
Saturday. No, they wouldn't. They already have Matt Ryan.
No, he's only there for a year, I thought.
Oh my God! If they
a
pick
year
up,
or two, that's it.
Dude, imagine if the Colts
quarterback carousel. We're never gonna win a Super Bowl. All right,
ever again.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, the last game of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers fucking winning against the Indianapolis Colts at home, 24-17. Kenny, Donald Trump.
Thought the Colts was gonna win? Did you actually thought the Colts was going to win?
Okay, Colts go out. They bring
trust.
Jeff Saturday in, and he automatically changes their. No. Listen. He automatically changed what they were doing. Went back to the run game. Put up a really good win against the Raiders, who are still good on paper and can beat a team. They went out and beat the Seahawks, right? They beat the Seahawks. I don't care about that. Then they go out against your Eagles and nearly beat them. You were scared that game.
Eagles was fucking up a lot.
They still, a win is a win. All right, so he nearly got the win against the Eagles. All right, so he's looking fine. This is his third game, and he's going against the Steelers. Again, Mike Tomlin's a great coach, and they still have a great defense. But at the same time, like, I expect them to do a little bit more, though they did get close. They only lost by 7. Again, breaking down the stats, Kenny, Donald Trump hands Pickett, 20 for 28, 174, 6.2 average, taking 3 sacks. Matt Ryan, 22 for 34, 199, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and 3 sacks. The rush game for Pittsburgh was all over with Najee Harris being in, then out, then in, then injured, then out, then in, then out, then injured, then out, then in the stands, then on the field, then in the training room, then on the field again, then limping off the field. So 62 for Benny Snell Jr., 35 for Najee Harris, and 32 for Kenny Pickett, and also 30 for Anthony McFarland. For Indianapolis, it was 86 yards for Jonathan Taylor and 22 yards for Matt Ryan, scrambling a couple times with his old legs. For Pittsburgh, their receiving was led by George Pickens with 57 yards and 49 for Deontay Johnson, while also 39 for Pat Freiermuth. For Indianapolis, 98 yards for Jelani Woods, 61 for Michael Pittman, and 14 for Mo Alley Cox and Paris Campbell. This game started out bad for the Indianapolis Colts as the score at half was 16-3. However, they came out, got the second half kick, ran it back almost all the way for a touchdown, then eventually punched it in, and then got another score on top of that to put 14 points up and actually take the lead 17-16 before the Steelers eventually went down and scored the final touchdown in the fourth. So, to me, from a football analyst perspective, you know, I've been doing this a long time, but I've played a little football, and when a team goes from being sucky in the first half to coming out in the second half and looking really good, and all that was halftime, tells me somebody went in there in halftime, drew up a good game plan, and got the guys motivated. Was that Jeff Saturday? Probably. Does that mean he's a good coach? The jury's still out, because he doesn't have a ton of experience, but what he's done so far has looked pretty good. But this obviously was a game they probably should have at least won, but not a terrible loss.
I think he can. Jeff Saturday can be a head coach for the future. I think he has. I mean, he's turned this Colts team totally around, and no one expected that from Jeff Saturday being a high school football coach. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do next year. But I think you roll with Jeff Saturday, see what happens. I mean, he just needs to surround himself with good people. That's all. A good staff.
I will admit he did adjust. That's the problem with Tomlin. Also, Tomlin does not adjust after halftime, and Jeff Saturday did adjust. I think the other big thing, if the GM could get some, he does make some good draft picks, but then he doesn't draft correctly in certain spots. O-line could still get wrecked. The O-line was supposed to be good, but the O-line still gets fucking wrecked at times.
Yeah. I think it still held up kind of well. Matt Ryan only took 3 sacks. Not awful, but not great.
I was kind of hungover this game. I was hungover this game, so I wasn't able to watch
away
a lot
his
of it.
Sorrows. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, this podcast has gone on quite a while already, but let's get into our Week 13 predictions. Starting out with tomorrow's game, Bills and Patriots on Thursday Night Football. Let's go ahead and also bring up our scores thus far. Mamba still in the lead, 110-44. Week 12, he went 15-7. Myself, 104-45. Week 12, I went 13-7. And then Macedon, 99-45. Week 12, he went 12-7. Again, we get 1 point if we predict the correct winner of the game, and 2 points if we are the closest one in score. This game,
closest one in score, or the most we get it correct.
The closest.
Closest.
Okay.
Closest. Like if you guess 7 and they scored, like you were within 1 point
Gotcha.
from the score.
Yeah. So closest in score also gets it. Alrighty. Bills Patriots Sunday Night Football in Foxborough. I'm going to take the Bills in this one. Even though the Patriots look good, their offense is not going to be able to score a ton against the Bills defense, which still is a decent defense. Despite the injuries, I'm going to take the Bills by 10.
In Foxborough. Let's see here. I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think Bills are going to lose this one. So I'm going to go Buffalo by 7. I think it's close. So Buffalo by 7.
I was about to say Bills by 3, but I forgot Bills played on Thursday, so they have a full week. Rest.
Yeah, they got a full week.
Patriots only have, I'm saying Bills by 13. That full rest is going to help them. So Bills by 13.
Ready? Next up on Sunday, December 4th, starting out with the Steelers and the Falcons. I don't want to pick the Steelers, but I don't think the Falcons are going to win this one. I don't think, even though the Falcons have a good pass rush. I don't think the Steelers are going to really sit in the pocket too long. I think they're going to take advantage of Najee Harris and run him a bit. And I think the Steelers will come out with a close victory by 3 in Atlanta.
I'm thinking this is a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go Atlanta by 3. I think they could squeak it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking Falcons by 7. I know Steelers defense is not bad, but I think Falcons defense is just a little bit better right now, more healthy. And I think Mariota could actually run away from TJ Watt better than some other teams.
Alrighty, moving on. The biggest test that we're going to have here. Aaron Rodgers coming off an injury, going to play in Chicago in Soldier Field against the team he owns, Packers Bears, 1 p.m. on Fox. So, both quarterbacks are injured. Rodgers is better than Fields, and the Bears defense sucks. Packers by 14.
Rodgers is better than Fields this season? You sure? You sure about that?
Not this. This season's been kind of debatable.
Debatable. Fields has been way better than fucking Aaron Rodgers this year. All right, give me the fucking Bears by 21. Fuck you.
Oh my god. I have to go with Mamba with the Bears, but I think it's gonna be closer. I'm thinking Bears by 3.
Ready?
Okay, maybe I'm a little too high. Put it by 7.
Okay. No. No takesies backsies. No takesies backsies.
Okay.
You said what you said.
Okay. We're locking it in.
Jaguars and Lions. This is going to be played in Detroit again. Another game in Detroit. So,
Jesus, fuck.
Lions and Jaguars. Jaguars are kind of a roll here. Lions have had a couple bad losses, but I think I said Patrick Mahomes. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be too much for the Lions to handle, and I think the Jaguars will pull this out in a close game by 7.
I think Lions are going to win this one. I mean, they just, I don't know, something about the Lions. They're clicking. They got it going. So they're a lot better than I expected. I don't think Jaguars are at that point yet. So give me Lions by 7.
Okay, Lions by 7. I had to roll a die for this one because I actually did not know who I was going to pick. So I rolled a die. I did it twice. Lions by 3. It both picked Lions. I do not disagree with the dice. Lions by 3.
All right.
Ready. Next up, Jets Vikings. This is in Minneapolis. I like Magic Mike motherfucking White, but I don't think he's going to stop the Vikings. I don't think he's going to be able to stop the Vikings and their very high-powered offense. And I think he's going to get under pressure a lot by their pass rush, which will cause him to make some mistakes that the Vikings will take advantage of. In the end, I'll take the Vikings by 14.
What did the coin say, Macedon?
I have to look that up. Hold on.
Fuck. Hold on.
I was not expecting. Hold on. I got it. Oh, they said Vikings Jets win.
In the name of the coin, and Magic Mike, we are going Jets by 7. Go Jets.
Do I want to go against the coin? And Vikings had a short week. Oh, no,
What's even funnier is the week after they the coin predicted that they beat Buffalo.
Vikings are looking good. I'm thinking Vikings by 7. I don't know. Like I think Mike White's good, but I'm thinking Vikings by 7.
I don't know.
It's
Will
not
Vikings
a primetime
defense
game.
Stop Magic Mike White? Is he gonna paint the ball around the field?
It's gonna be close. I'm thinking it's by 7. The field. I think it's going to be by 7. So Vikings by 7.
Am I the only one that picked Jets?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I have to go with the coin on this one. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely watching that game.
Alrighty, next up, Commanders, Giants in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is going to be a run-heavy game on both ends, but I think a little bit more on the Washington end. I think the more balanced attack will win, even though I like running the ball. I think the Giants will eventually win this game in a close one by 3.
Ooh. I mean, Giants have been kind of slumping and they're kind of one-dimensional as of recent. Fuck, this is a tough one. I am going with Mr. Taylor Hennessy. Give me the Commanders by 7.
You went commies by 7. I rolled a die on this one again. It said Giants again. So Giants by 7. Saquon Barkley is probably going to get.
I might be fucked this week, by the way. There's a lot of close ones.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of close ones.
Next one up, Titans Eagles. Eagles by 21. I think the Eagles are going to show up and show out, especially AJ Brown is going to have a monster game, and I think the Eagles will also be able to really key in on Derrick Henry. Even though they've been bad in the rush, I think they're going to figure out something this week. Something's going to click, and they're going to really be able to hound this struggling Titans offensive line.
I would have to agree with you. I'm not going to bet against a team that's 10-1. Like, come on. So give me the Eagles by 14.
I'm going with Eagles, but it's going to be by 3 because the rush defense got fucking suck again, and the special teams suck also. Fucking give you up almost 100 yards of fucking kickoff return.
You need to give some credit to the Eagles a little more.
No,
come on.
No. The offense, yes, I give credit, but the fucking deep rush defense is dead now because Jordan Davis is out, and the special teams
they're a little
suck ass.
They're tired. It's late in the week. Come on.
Broncos and Ravens in Baltimore. I don't like the Ravens. I don't want them to win. I wish the Broncos would win, but I think the Ravens are going to win by 7 here. 10 against the Broncos.
Bird country, let's ride. Give me the Ravens by 7.
You know what I put for like the notepad for I make this? I put let's die versus can't hold double-digit leads.
Jesus Christ.
It's true. I mean, they had a double-digit lead against the Jags this week, and they lost.
The next team is the fucking return of Deshaun Watson, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. I'm saying Ravens by 14 though, because that offense of the Broncos suck ass. God damn.
How do I phrase this so I don't get banned? The return of that guy, Deshaun Watson, returning to play his first game after his suspension for the 27+ sexual assault allegations he had from different massage therapy workers around the country, playing the former team that used to pay for multiple hotels for him, and now on a new team, the Browns, playing his first week after dethroning Jacoby Brissett after Brissett put up a pretty good half season for the Browns. I don't think the Texans can win this in any way.
Half a season.
Yeah, I hope Deshaun Watson goes out and has a 2 for 57 game with 7 interceptions and no touchdowns. But I think the Browns will win this game by 7. They'll probably have some issues with trying to get them all set up and ready.
I'm going to hate myself, but I'm going to need a back massage after this one. I'm picking the Browns by 7.
Okay. You know what I put for notepad this one? Fuck Watson versus also fuck Watson tank edition. But I'm saying Browns by 14. I think the rushing attack is still really good.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Browns by 14. It's going to be Nick Chubb getting like 3 touchdowns.
Alrighty. Next up, Seahawks Rams in South Levi Stadium, otherwise known as SoFi Stadium. That's going to be pretty empty. I think the Seahawks are going to show up and show out against a struggling Ram team. I'll take the Seahawks by 17.
Let's see. What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's Seahawks time. All right, give me the Seahawks by 7. Actually, no, Seahawks by 14.
Oh, 14.
More. Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying Seahawks by 10. Their defense is starting to get exposed. And I put Seahawks versus bottom Mickey ring.
Alrighty.
Okay,
next up,
Dolphins
49ers in Santa Clara, California.
Ooh.
I'm taking the 49ers in this one because I think their defense will be able to slow down the Dolphins offense enough that the Dolphins defense won't be good enough to stop some of the weapons that the San Francisco offense has. It's a close one. I will take the 49ers by 5.
Okay.
I don't think 49ers offense is as good as people have been saying. Dolphins offense is really good. They got Tyreek, they got Waddle, speedsters. I don't know. 49ers are gonna have a tough time covering that, like, if I'm honest. So I'm gonna say Dolphins by 3. I'm right in the ocean.
I rolled a die twice on this one again. It's the most die I rolled in 1 week. It picked Dolphins. I'm gonna say Dolphins by 7. Tyreek Hill, last minute touchdown.
All right, rematch of the AFC Championship game of last year. Chiefs Bengals in Paycor, formerly Paul Brown, the Jungle Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm going to take the Bengals in a close one here by 7. I think they get the job done.
Bro, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. It's Brady and Gronk. It's the new Brady and Gronk. All right, so I'm gonna go Chiefs. I knew, so I'm gonna go with Chiefs by 7.
I'm saying Chiefs by 14. I think that offense is still too much for the Bengals in the regular season. Playoffs can be different. I think regular season, Chiefs gonna win it.
Time to see the 7-5 Chiefs, or not Chiefs, Bengals.
Next up, Chargers Raiders in Las Vegas. Even though the Raiders have struggled this season, I think they're going to win this game. I have a good feeling about that. I think the Chargers defense isn't going to be able to handle Josh Jacobs. I think they're going to double down after McDaniels is on the hot seat, even more so than he has been all year. I think he's going to hand the ball to Jacobs a lot, and the Chargers won't be able to stop it. I'll take the Raiders by 3.
I think the Raiders are too one-dimensional, where they're gonna box in the run plays. I can't see them winning this, so I'm gonna go Chargers by 7.
Yeah, I know you said they're too one-dimensional, but Chargers defensive rush defense suck ass even more than the Eagles right now. So I'm saying Raiders by 3. And you know what I put for this, Notepad? Payne versus can't fire McDaniels, but needs to because they have no money.
All right, we'll see.
There's a reason why they didn't fire McDaniels yet. Mark Davis has
Sunday
no money.
Night football, Colts Cowboys, Arlington, Texas, Jerry World. Colts look good in the past couple games, have been being more competitive, but again, the Cowboys are in the best division in football, it seems like, this season, and need wins. I don't think the Colts have enough talent in order to beat the Cowboys, especially since the Cowboys can really run stuff Jonathan Taylor well. I will take the Cowboys by 10.
I would have to agree with you. I don't think Jeff Saturday will be able to stop Jerry Jones' team in Dallas, so let's go Cowboys by 14.
Jeff Saturday does suck versus fuck them boys, but I have to go Cowboys by 20. It's fucking Colts fucking suck ass, but Cowboys. Micah Parsons good, Ezekiel Elliott's getting going, and Tony Pollard's good. Cowboys by 20.
Bye week is Cardinals Panthers, and that leads us into the final game, Saints Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. But Saints usually have the Buccaneers numbers. However, the Buccaneers did beat them earlier this season, and Mike Evans made it personal. I think he's going to make it personal again. Take the Buccaneers by 10. Mike Evans has a huge game.
I would have to agree with you. Buccaneers, I mean, Tom Brady's probably mad, so he's going to want to win. So let me get Buccaneers by 7.
I'm going to have to disagree with both of you. Saints by 3. It's going to be a shutout of... not shutout, but it's going to be, you know what? Fuck it. Shutout of 3-0. Let's do it again like last year of 9-0, but it's going to be 3-0.
Oh, you're betting on the Red Rocket.
Oh, boy.
Not the Red Rocket. I'm betting on the Saints defense.
It's the Red Rifle, not the Red Rocket. What the fuck, Mamba? Put some respect on Andy Dalton's name. Did we have any questions on our previous video, by the way?
Let me check. Hold on.
Ooh, boy.
Loading. So let's see here. Question for next week from Muzzy. Oh, we got even another comment.
2 comments, 2 questions. Oh boy.
I mean, Muzzy did 2 comments together. Question for next week. Do you guys think the teams in division should be reshuffled in the coming years to reflect geographic changes / skills of the teams? How do you think that would work, and which teams would you want to be switched around in an ideal world?
No, you can't really do it by skill. I don't think you can ever do it by skill. There's going to be divisions that are good and bad every year. It changes. NFC North, AFC North was really good for a long time as well.
Before you start, he added on also with the possibility of London, Munich teams in the NFL.
You're just going to have to expand for that, or you're going to move Houston. Honestly,
just move Houston.
Just move Houston.
Just the entire city.
Yeah, move the Houston Texans to London if they're going to do something for London. I don't think you can add teams. 32 is a great number for professional sports. No, I don't think you can change the divisions. You're going to break up so many rivalries. Bengals, Steelers,
Cowboys,
Eagles, Chiefs, Raiders.
Someone tried to say move
Packers.
Miami out. Yeah, someone tried to be like move Miami out of AFC East. No, you're not going to move Miami out of AFC East.
I was like, Packers, Bears, the oldest rivalry in football. Like, I mean, there's so many big rivalries that you have that have happened over time. I don't think you can change them that well. Stuff is pretty established.
The only team you could probably choose to move is Houston or Jacksonville. I'm actually being serious. Like, out of all the teams there,
the NFC South also doesn't have really big rivalries.
Yeah, AFC South.
Yeah.
The NFC South doesn't have many rivalries. The biggest one looks like it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. But then there's also like the Panthers and the Falcons. Those teams, like, they don't.
Falcons Saints are a big rivalry too.
If you go regional, like AFC West is Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers, LV Raiders, and then Denver Broncos. If you go by region, Chiefs shouldn't they be more like Midwest area?
Yeah, but like if you do it by region, then you're breaking up so many good rivalries. You can't do that.
You're gonna break up AFC North, which you're not gonna do.
No, you're not touching my AFC North at all.
You're not touching the AFC East. You're not touching NFC East. You're not touching AFC North. That's
we need an AFC middle.
There used to be. There used to be 3 divisions until late 90s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Tampa Bay was considered NFC Central. Yeah, expanded with Carolina and Houston and Jacksonville.
Let's answer it this way. If we did have a Germany or London teams, where would you integrate them?
You would have to move you would have to move a team. I think 32 is too good of a number to have. 32 is a perfect number to have. It makes divisional play matter. If all of a sudden you have one division that has more teams than the other, it doesn't work. Divisional play has to matter. Division leaders have to matter. So you would have to move a team. You would have to move a poverty-ass franchise like the Houston Texans all the way to, Munich, London, Nuremberg, somewhere.
And the only reason why baseball is surviving with 15 teams of each league, should I say, instead of 16-14 as it was 10 years ago, is because of how many games there are.
Like 120 games?
That is true.
162.
Oh.
Yeah, you have a restructure.
I mean, baseball is different. Baseball is kind of different. You could play. It's been that way since the 70s.
If you're adding teams, it makes it more difficult.
It does.
Well, especially wild card.
You shouldn't add teams. They should just move a certain team away. It should be the Houston Texans.
NFL and NHL has the most teams. They both have 32.
Which is perfect.
The thing is, if you moved Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston's the Texans, they're both AFC South teams moving to Europe. How the fuck? Like, you can't just call them. They're the AFC South.
They moved west. With the AFC, but you cannot fuck with them in the AFC East. But you cannot fuck with the AFC East. Like, who are you gonna move? You're gonna take out so many
rivals. Fine. The AFC South would have the London Redcoats and the Munich.
You would have to rename AFC South. Would make no sense of a name.
The London Texans.
Okay. Before we finish, I don't know when we were done with this section, I just saw another comment. Ben Diesel said, Will Anderson and Jalen Carter are the 2 big names that would go top 5 in the draft that are not QBs. Also, it's MCDC, not HCDC.
Oh,
Motor City, MC. Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Head
City
coach.
Dan
No,
Campbell, yeah.
it can be Motor City Dan Campbell or
Yeah.
HCDC head coach Dan Campbell. There are both. I agree. MCDC is the more popular, but also HC. He's the head coach. You gotta give him his title now and then. Come on.
I'm not big on college for this year, but Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, what colleges are they? I don't know if you guys know.
Honestly, a high draft pick might be. I think it's like Strong.
Oh no, Will Anderson is
Stroud?
Bama, right?
Who?
Will Anderson's Bama.
Because he said top 5. 2 big names that will go top 5 in the draft. They're not QBs. Which is interesting. Because
Will Anderson's Bama, Jalen Carter's Georgia Bulldogs.
Because Denver does have their first round pick. That's Seattle right there. Even though they might go QB.
Well, Bears will probably pick up a wide receiver. Are they both wide receivers?
And Philly has the Saints pick.
Northwestern lineman Peter Skoronsky was named the best O lineman in the Big Ten. I think he could possibly go pretty high on some teams that would want a lineman.
I would love the Eagles to get. Well, what you said, left tackle?
I don't know what.
You know what? Is there any mock drafts out?
He is the first.
I know.
Yeah, he's the first one to earn the offensive lineman twice. The offensive lineman of the year in the Big Ten twice, and he plays what looks like to be left tackle. Yeah.
I would love for the Eagles to get him because I don't know if Andre Dillard's with his injuries. Because we need replacement for Jason Peters.
Yeah.
And if Lane Johnson retires.
Also, the center, Olu Otinawami from Michigan, is also graduating, and he was one of the best centers in the entirety of college football. So if a team needs a good center, there's that. Teams will take linemen pretty high if they need linemen.
Yeah.
What is that? CBS has a... I actually uploaded one 14 hours ago. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. There you go.
Because
I just linked it.
Because it's the regular season's done for college.
Pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
This one's actually kind of surprising. They got Bears picking an edge rusher.
I mean, you could get a receiver in the second round. Who needs receivers right now?
Oh, wait. I did not know this. Hold on. Oh no, wait. Oh no, they're saying okay, the Seahawks' pick is from Denver. Never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bryce Young going first. I can see that. Willie Anderson Jr. an edge rusher. Yeah, I mean, maybe they don't need a quarterback. They could go with a lineman because they need some linemen. So I could see them picking up a lineman high like this.
We need wide receiver.
You can get them in the second round. There's going to be a decent amount of wide receivers.
Okay, you guys are going to be bad next year as well. So you guys also get a high draft pick, and Marvin Harrison Jr. will be available. So there you go. Jalen Carter D-line that makes sense because the D-line for the Seahawks is pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
Peter Stroud, there it is. There's Peter. OT. Yeah, I would definitely see that. CJ Stroud. Okay. I could see that for Detroit. I could see them taking Stroud, or I could see them taking
Will Levis or Hendon Hooker.
Will Levis. Will Levis from
Kentucky.
Panthers really need a.
I wouldn't know if I would take it. I don't know if I would take it. I don't know if I would take a Kentucky quarterback. I think they would rather take Hendon Hooker here, honestly.
Yeah, but Carolina needs a QB.
Oh yeah, but I think I would rather take Hendon Hooker and wait a year than take Will Levis. No offense to him, but I don't know if I've seen Kentucky play a bit and it looked good, but I don't know if he's that good. Broderick Jones, OT, Caleb Smith, cornerback.
I'm surprised CJ Stroud. I'm just looking backwards.
Seeing Eagles with the cornerback on this one, I don't know because they don't take defensive players unless they're a D line. Howie Roseman.
I think the only need you guys would need, like, obviously, would be a left tackle, a backup running back, or a left tackle,
a left tackle, backup right tackle, a running back again, third round.
First round pick offensive linemen are instant starters.
That's true. That's not true. I mean, Lane Johnson might retire soon. We already got a center.
He's playing amazing, but his injuries.
I know, I'm saying, but injuries.
Wide receiver for wide receiver as well. Okay, that's good. D line Falcons need everything. Defense.
Falcons need a quarterback.
Well, wait, they don't have a quarterback for no, that's right. They did get a quarterback this year.
They have Desmond Riddler, and they haven't played him all season. What are you doing? Let him learn. Yeah. Okay, Christian Gonzalez, cornerback. Okay,
Oregon.
Brian Breeze from Clemson. I guess they could use a D lineman. I would also like to see them maybe focus on some.
Wow! Wait, look in New York. So when you get I'm surprised they got Texans not picking up a quarterback.
Ooh.
They do. Yeah, they have the first pick for the Texans. They had first pick and they got him.
Bryce Young.
Anthony Richardson, QB from Florida. No, I don't know why they're picking Anthony Richardson over Hendon Hooker. Still hasn't gone off the board, and
that is
probably thinking of injury. They're thinking of his injury. That's why.
Yeah, Dwan Jones, lineman, Ohio State.
No. Hold on. New York picking up a quarterback would be very stupid, especially how well Daniel Jones has been playing.
Maybe I don't know.
Dwan Jones from I've seen this lineman from Ohio State. He's actually right here, 78 right here,
and
he's this top heavy. He is this top-heavy motherfucker, and he's almost 400 pounds. So,
also, they're thinking that Belichick's going to pick at 17 instead of trading down.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Joey Porter, Paris Johnson, cornerback, OT.
But you think
the cornerback
trade down?
Joey Porter's very good. This will be a great pick. I don't know why Joey Porter isn't going higher in the draft.
Probably
Paris Johnson, OT.
This is a draft.
I don't know. Paris Johnson should not be that high up as an offensive tackle. Position rank first over... What? Over Scron? No. Not really familiar. Oh, Michael Meyer, tight end. Really good tight end from Notre Dame. Been playing really well this season.
Wow.
They have a tight end. That's a good pick. That's a good pick for the Chargers if he falls that low, yeah.
I think the Chargers need to get something for the rush defense.
From Oregon.
Bo Nix from Oregon.
I can see that.
Okay. Oh, what do you think of the Bengals?
Sakaya Kala. I've heard the name before. He's a good interior D lineman, good run stopper. But we already have BJ Hill, who's been okay. It depends on what Daxam Hill does. If Jesse Bates leaves, we also might need a really good corner if one of these falls down low.
I think you're going to pay Jesse Bates. I think you're going to let Eli Apple go.
Yeah, so we might need another corner. Jayan Jones, Texas A&M cornerback.
Vikings kind of weird because actually show
Jackson Smith, the Jimba dropping that low. Wow, even though he had an injury, but still, yeah.
All right, what the fuck did they have for this running back? Why in the first round? Howie Rosa does not pick running backs in the first round. It's in the third round or later.
And then Josh Downs is wide receiver. So yeah, I think for me, the biggest lock I would probably see for a first round pick that's not a QB would either be Willie Anderson Jr. as an edge rusher or Pete Skoronski as an offensive tackle. One of the two I would pick.
Kansas City picking up another wide receiver, even though they have like a bajillion.
Actually, that's kind of. Oh no, I guess it's not weird because I'm trying to think with Andy Reid because he wants offensive linemen too because he always loved some good offensive linemen with McNabb before too. I don't know. But no, how you saying Will Anderson? Yeah, for edge for Chicago. That's not a bad pickup for Chicago to get some extra defense.
Not at all. But yeah, it's just speculation. We'll see what happens with the college football playoff. That could change a lot of stuff. But yes, anyway, that has been the Football Stooges Week 12-13 wrap-up and prediction. We hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment below. We'll answer them just as we did right now. If you leave questions for us, like and follow us here on YouTube, or if you're listening, go ahead and like the podcast wherever you're finding it. For myself, for Macedon, and for Mamba, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, have a happy holidays, and enjoy some football and run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Bye.